Welcome to another UCL Fantasy stream. It's great to see so many of you in the chat already, and we just hit 15,000 subscribers, and I thought we'd be doing it during the stream today, but a lot of subscribers have happened today, so thank you very much to everyone who has already subscribed to the channel. I very much appreciate it, and we're going to try get through all your questions. It's very difficult in UCL Fantasy, but we try our very best, and I'll be talking about my wildcard team, and I'll try to prevent mass copying, but let's wait and see how that turns out in the end. But it's good to see so many of you here. I'm going to try whiz through these questions, and even my chat is kind of freezing here because there's so many of you here. So welcome Lungani, good to see you here so early. Welcome Oamara, Soldier Boy, Schweib, Elliot. I mean, there's so many to even mention. Tamid, Rain, Yorgus. Who else do we have? We're going to go down the list here, and we're talking, this was like half an hour ago that you lot were already talking. Sophie, RB, welcome to everyone, Tiger. I mean, there's so many of you. I don't want to miss you all. Kat, Lynn. I mean, how do I even get through all your names? But it's good to see you. Welcome, Nuclear Atoms. Always good to see you. Alex as well. Thank you very much for your kind words. And now let's get through the nitty gritty. I'm going to try go through any questions or comments that may have been missed. I'm well, Alex. What about you? Thank you very much for asking. Kudus is a good pick. I think so. And actually, a lot of people are talking about him and saying he got rested at the weekend and now they think he won't suddenly play. But Brobby is actually an injury doubt, and he was the one who filled in for Kudus. And I think he was actually benched to save him for the Champions League, and also because he played games for Ghana during the international break, long travel fatigue. So I actually think he will start Kudus, and there's no reason for him not to start. He's been scoring every single game pretty much. So I think he's a fabulous option. Sophie, welcome. So I heard Milik is on the bench. Anyone know if this is true? I actually haven't seen that. If you have any links, then be sure to let me know and put it in the comment section, the live chat, so we can go through it and maybe analyze whether the source is verifiable or reliable. But honestly, I didn't hear that, so I'm not sure. Welcome, Kat. Hide a lip reader in case you're muted again. Fair enough. I mean, it was actually funny. I watched it back, and it's just funny seeing myself just like looking confused, not knowing what the problem was. And literally, it's because my stream deck was kind of bugging out, and I had to mute my mic in order for it to work. It was funny though. But yes, good to see the humor of it. Will be sitting here next for a while, so I hope he likes UCL Fantasy. Oh, okay, fair enough. And hopefully you enjoy the stream, Cat. And if you have any questions or comments, you know what to do. Welcome, Niguyen. I think that's the name. Hopefully I haven't mispronounced it. Sumit says, rate my team on a scale of 5. That's quite a new one. Haaland, Lewandowski, Milik. I really like that, but not sure what the deal is with Milik there. Musiala, fantastic option this week, and I'm looking to get him in. Nkunku, Diaz, Kvaratskhelia, and Valverde. It's a very solid midfield, although, I mean, the fixture's there for Diaz, but I'm not a big fan of him, UCL Fantasy or FPL-wise, really. Tsimikas is a great option for this week, especially if Robertson misses out again. Kostic is a great option as well. Upamecano, really good replacement for Lucas Hernandez, Cancelo, Sergio Gomez. So honestly, out of 5, it's at least a 4. I'd probably say 4.5 if you can put 0.5s on it. It's a really solid team. Meyer versus Lunin. I prefer Lunin actually because Courtois, I saw the news yesterday, he is out indefinitely, so no one knows when he's going to return. And with Kobel, he could be back this week, and I actually prefer the Real Madrid defense anyway, so I would go for Lunin actually. Nitty gritty, yeah, no, I rarely say that. I think I've said it a few times in the videos and stuff, but yeah. Thank you, Sophie. I appreciate it. Mustafa says my team is Adan, Upamecano, Eric Garcia, Munia, I think it is, or it was Major, maybe. Nuno Tavares, Sane, Musiala, Kvaratskhelia, Kudus, Lewandowski, Haaland, bench, Meyer, Guerrero, Vinicius, and Messi. Thoughts? It's a fantastic team. Just bear in mind, there's a few things to keep an eye on. Sane could be benched today, so we do get the lineups for Bayern Munich, so be sure to keep an eye out for that, and we'll be covering it in this video around, I think in an hour's time basically. We'll get the lineups for Bayern Munich and also Sporting Lisbon and their matches, some key assets involved in Matchday 3, so keep an eye out for that, but it's a really good team to be fair. Hello Dylan, bring on UCL, nothing like the big tournament. Yes, I do like the World Cup as well. That's the only kind of tournament along with the Premier League that I could put on the same level, I think, as the Champions League. Is Haaland getting rested? I don't think so personally, but a few people have that opinion and I don't blame them, and I'm not saying they're wrong. I just think that he's going to start. Welcome, Akraf. Hi, Dylan. Cruz or Valverde? I would go for Valverde. It's been a bit surprising because he's not really getting too many ball recoveries, but he has been getting the attacking returns. I would go for Valverde. Milik is injured, apparently. Fair enough. I actually haven't seen it. There's always something that comes out with UCL Fantasy. I recorded all the videos on the Friday, and then ever since then, Kimmich has got COVID, and you've got all this different kind of stuff happening, which is a big shame. Foden or Diaz? I would go for Foden, but bear in mind he could be benched. That is the big issue there. Yeah, like I said with Courtois, he's out indefinitely, so he's probably going to miss this match day and maybe match day 4 as well. So that's the kind of news we're getting. There's no concrete, return date or anything, but he could be out for a while. Yeah, Sesko's another good suggestion. I do prefer Jukla though, and look, I'm going to show you my kind of alternative picks that I haven't really covered in the other video. So let me just bring this up on screen, and this would also make for a good wild card. But there's a few things that I would prefer, such as Lunin in for Meyer in goal, and I would probably be a bit concerned about Guerreiro, despite how good of an asset he is, and Sevilla are awful, but I think there might be better options, and Kostic is a great differential. He's not great for ball recoveries, but he has a lot of attacking potential, plays as a left winger pretty much, or as a left midfielder, and he is classed as a defender. So he's kind of the Perisic of Juventus, you could say. And Kvaratskhelia for me is probably one of the best budget options. But there's also Anguissa, who used to play for Fulham, I believe. He's been doing great in UCL Fantasy. Ball recoveries, attacking returns, you name it. He's another really good option who's under the radar. But Leroy Sane, keep an eye out for him, because Bild, I think, I'm not even sure, Bild, I'll call him Bild, whatever. I've not heard the pronunciation before. They actually have Sane on the bench in their predicted lineup, and a lot of outlets think that Sane is going to be benched and rested this week, and it is possible. It's a big shame, and it also probably gives me a bit of a conundrum, because if I go without Lewandowski, I'm not sure who I would captain on the first day. I don't have that much confidence in the option, so I could go very rogue there. But yeah, Sane was going to be kind of locked in. Musiala could be a great kind of differential captaincy. You've also got Sadio Mane, but he hasn't really been scoring too many goals for Bayern Munich, and that's something I talked about even a few weeks ago. And I think a lot is kind of made of Liverpool's misfortunes going down to Mane leaving. I disagree with that. But here are some kind of differentials or players that are going under the radar, or that maybe I haven't covered but are still fantastic, and Bellingham is one of them. He was fantastic last season, and once again he's going to do the same this time round. Vlahovic a good option? I think so for the double header, but would I go for him over Neymar, Mbappe, Lewandowski and Haaland? No, and that's why I probably wouldn't go for Vlahovic. And then you've also got these budget options like Jukla and even Sesko potentially, and that means you can go for a premium midfielder. Yeah, I trust Bellingham with goals as well. Not so much in terms of a consistent basis, but he can get the assists, the ball recoveries. He's a jack of all trades. That's what I really like about Bellingham. If Sane is out, can we go for Gnabry? Yes, you can, and he could start actually. And I think there's a winger called Tell for Bayern Munich. He could also start. Gravenberch is expected to start as well for Bayern Munich, but Musiala for me is the main guy, in my opinion. Musiala's worth it, of course. I actually prefer him over Bellingham, to be honest. Yes, I'm on the wildcard CR7. I've activated it. Sane is confirmed in by Tier 1 Bayern reporter. Yeah, once again, I'm not trying to skip questions. There's literally so many comments and stuff. I'm trying to go for everything. Just try to be patient. Let me know which Tier 1 Bayern report it is, so I can have a look, and then we can talk about this. Because Bild, if I can call them that, they have gotten things wrong in the past. They've said Sane would be benched, I think, in match day 2 or 1, and he ended up starting, and he was incredible. So I would take it with a pinch of salt, but it is possible, and a lot of outlets were predicting the same thing. What do you think of Messi? He's been incredible this season. Probably one of the best players, if not the best so far. And in Champions League, though, I still think Mbappe will get more points because he'll score more goals. He was very lucky with the Man of the Match award. It should have gone to Messi in that occasion, but yeah, I think Messi is a really good option once again. Why not KDB? Well, actually, I will probably look to go for him on the wildcard. This, what I'm showing you, is kind of different options to consider as well. Thoughts on Trincao for Sporting? He's a decent choice, but I do prefer Edwards up front. And also, despite him not really being that good so far this season, Pedro Gonçalves. There's a few injury problems for Sporting Lisbon, such as Pedro Porro at the back line, but he's another good one that you've mentioned. Best 4.4 million or under defender. We can go through this. I think I saw that question earlier on before we started. So if we check defenders, and we'll go through it by 4.5 million. Bear with me for a second. Yeah, so you don't have too many choices, but I think Antonio Silva is a really solid one. You know, he's got PSG, but he can get ball recoveries. And if we look so far this season, he's got 18 balls recovered. That is incredible. So as you can see, he didn't get a clean sheet against Juventus, but he still got 4 points overall because of those 7 balls recovered. So he's one that I would definitely recommend. A few other ones that are decent is Hincapié from Bayer Leverkusen, and they actually are struggling in the Bundesliga, but he's a good defender. He can play as a left-back and centre-back, and he can get ball recovery. So he's also a very impressive option. He's facing Porto, who have been struggling so far this season in the Champions League, but I'm not that sure about a clean sheet for him or Antonio Silva. But with that budget, you don't have too much to work with. Then you've got these Club Brugge defenders as well that are worth considering. But I think Major, I think he was touted as an injury doubt. I'm not sure. I need to double check that. But he's another fine option. But I think with him, you're mainly relying on attacking returns. As you can see, he got an assist and 8 balls recovered, which is decent. But I would actually favour the other two that I mentioned earlier, despite Meyer actually being the top kind of scoring 4.5 million and under defender. So Antonio Silva and Hincapié will be 2 of them. I do like Bassi as well, or Bassi, should we call him, from Ajax. Then you've got, I think it's the South Korean defender from Napoli, Min Jae. He's another one who's been looking impressive, but I would probably limit it to Hincapié and most importantly, Antonio Silva. He is probably my favourite around that price. Right, let me just get this sorted and there we go. Then we go back to your questions. Thank you for the super chat. YouTuber, what do you think about Vinicius and Vlahovic? Vinicius has been consistent all season. He scored over the weekend in a 1-1 draw for Madrid. And Vlahovic is a good option. But like I said earlier, when you've got Mbappe, you've even got Messi now, who's incredible. You've got Neymar. You've got Lewandowski, Jutla, and Haaland. There's so many choices, and I just don't think it's worth going for Vlahovic. And Juventus are a very inconsistent team. They are facing Maccabi Haifa, who caused some problems for PSG, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did the same in either Matchday 3 or 4 against Juventus. And look, Vlahovic is a good option. I'm not disputing that, but I think there's better, and I would also prefer the midfielders around his price, such as Leroy Sane if he starts. Tsimikas, yes, I think he's a great choice this week. I wouldn't want him long term, but he's a good short term punt, and I'm actually looking to get him on the wildcard. He is in my current draft. Matip, I mean, I was really keen on him, but Konate's back in training, and I'm not too sure if he's going to start in the Champions League. Why doesn't anyone have Benzema? Because he's been poor this season. He's obviously just come back from an injury. And look, he is a good choice, but I think there's better choices right now, to be honest. That's my opinion. Yes, I will look to do that, Lavanier. So for all channel members, and look, I'm only doing this, I need to make this very clear, to prevent mass copying, because a lot of people do just look at what someone who's making videos is doing and they copy everything, you know, move for move. So just to kind of mitigate that, I'm probably going to be showing the final team after the deadline, but I will try to get it out for channel members and patrons. But that's only, you know, as an extra kind of bonus for those who are already subscribed and already signed up. And obviously I appreciate all your support. But yeah, once again, it's just for that. You know, if there wasn't copying, I would be very, very happy to show my team, to be honest. Can you make a limitless team? I covered this in the best limitless team video, and the only change I would make is Courtois out for Lunin, potentially. So I honestly, there's no need for me to go over that again, because it literally is all there in the limitless team video. I would only get rid of Courtois. You could also maybe get rid of Hakimi or Heung-min Son, but most of it would pretty much say the exact same. I wouldn't go for Vlahovic on the limitless, to be honest. What's my plans? I've wildcarded, and I've made, I think, 11 changes, I think. Should I transfer Theo for Valverde and play a back three? Remember, it's all about the days, so you don't have to play one for the other. You can play both, basically. So just have everyone who plays on the 4th of October today in your starting 11, and then you can bring on those 5th of October players if for those that kind of blank or don't do that well in your starting 11 who have already played. So I don't think that needs an answer, really. Just clarification. 5 minutes before the deadline, yeah, I am considering that rock and roll, yeah. A lot of people would have left by then as well. Lewandowski versus Jutla, KDB. I'm in a similar predicament, and to be honest, I'm really, really debating it. I am going for Jutla and KDB, though. That is kind of my preference. That's the way I'm looking at it. What about Salah captain? I haven't really seen enough from Liverpool and Salah to really justify going for him as a captain. But look, he's still being fairly consistent. He's just not the same Salah as before. King Benzema is back. He is going to remind everyone why he is Champions League. Yes, I mean, he could do, but I don't know. It's still kind of a lot of question marks, and I think Vinicius Jr. would be my preference in the Real Madrid attack. Thank you, Mohamed. I appreciate it, and I disagree, but thank you very much. Sane or Musiala plus Neuer? I mean, it all depends on if Sane starts or not. And honestly, I'd probably say Musiala and Neuer, but I would love to have Sane too. Who do you suggest instead of Sane if he gets benched? Vinicius Jr. or Phil Foden? And if maybe, you have doubts about Foden starting and you can't get to Vinicius, then I would say Bellingham. So those would be my top 3 options. Best forwards for the Limitless. Probably Lewandowski, and I covered this in the video, by the way. Haaland and Mbappe. That will be my front 3. Will you go for KDB? At the moment, I am going for him, yes. Do you think Salah is working this week? I think he's a good choice, and that's why he featured in my Limitless team video. But would I captain him? No. What about Musiala? Fantastic choice, and he's in my team, in my wildcard team. Will you play Fantasy for World Cup? I probably will, and I'm looking to do videos for that if I'm available. How is Mane as an option? He's decent, but he hasn't been getting too many consistent attacking returns for Bayern Munich so far. I'd rather go for Musiala and Sane. I think they're better, but wait for the lineups before making your transfers. Thoughts on Kvaratskhelia, Napoli player? He's in this, and he is in my wildcard team at the moment. I think he's one of the best options at his price and below, but you've also got Anguissa from the same team, and then you've got a few others who are pretty good as well. I didn't say Sane's not starting, Ahmed. I'm saying that there's rumours about him not starting, but someone earlier did say a Tier 1 Bayern Munich reporter stated that he is starting, so we just don't know yet. And Bild, who is one of the kind of main outlets who said Sane would be benched, they have gotten it wrong in the past. Sane is not injured, Joao. Don't worry about that. Luis Diaz or Nkunku? Probably Nkunku, if I had to pick one. Bellingham or Valverde? Bellingham. But both are really good. No triple Bayern against Pilsen? I am, Tech. What I'm showing you right now is different options, and just before the deadline, I'll probably show you my final team, but I'm trying to avoid mass copying. Honestly, like I said, people copy my team move for move, and I just want to prevent that if possible. Can you show a predicted City lineup? That's a good suggestion. I'll try to do that. Maybe I'm trying to find out who could do a Manchester City predicted lineup, but I'm going to try find one for you right now and see what we can get. Okay, so the Manchester Evening News have gotten a lineup, and they're pretty decent, actually, when it comes to this sort of thing. And by the way, we've hit 15,000 subscribers today, so thank you very much to everyone. And we've got almost 500 viewers and only 80 likes, so let's keep on pushing up the like count, you could say. Let's try to get this stream to as many likes as possible, and I think we can get to over 300. So thank you very much for all your support, and I am now going to go and get this on screen. So as suggested and as requested, we're going to go here. And yeah, here we go. So the predicted lineup, have I just gone through it? Or am I done? Yeah, maybe I'm done. Okay. That's a bit weird. 1 second, I think it just kind of bugged out when I've moved it from browser to browser. So just give me a second. I'm going to try get the predicted lineup for you right now. Yeah, no, I don't think there is anything, actually. The last kind of predicted lineup was from 4 days ago. So, yeah, no, that was an epic fail. We're going to go back to the other team, yeah. I'll try find something for you, but at the moment, I don't see any predicted lineup for that. So, here is the kind of alternative. Some of these players will be in my final wildcard squad. The best wildcard team, once again, I've made a video on that. There's a few changes that would be made, like Kimmich to Musiala. That's quite obvious. You've also got Bellingham as well to consider. And then there's players like Courtois. You can just go to Lunin, easy switch. So really, I think it's quite self-explanatory. Who is the best 5 million striker? 5 million, you're not really looking at much. You've got Jukla and Sesko, who I think are a bit more expensive. I think Sesko is 6 million. Jukla for me is the best one. But 5 million and under, there's no one for me. Rodri's injured, right? I believe so. He didn't feature in the Manchester derby. Yes, Rock and Roll. It's just I don't think there's any article. I just skimmed through it in another browser. There's nothing in terms of predicted lineup, unfortunately. Musiala or Bellingham? For me, Musiala, but both are good. Davis or Guerrero? Davis, especially with the double header in mind. Dembele to replace Sane? If Sane is not going to start, then yes, he's a good choice. But I would rather go for Foden, Bellingham, and also Musiala. Will Sane play? I have a gut feeling that he will, but we're going to find out in an hour's time, so no need to worry. 5 million Tell of Bayern Munich. Yes, that's a good shout, yes. That's a really good shout. And is he classed as a forward? I didn't know that. I actually didn't know that. Let me check that. So let's go through Bayern Munich. Let's see. I'm going to try to get this up for you. Yeah, he's a forward. That's the problem, though. if you need someone around that price, then yes, I would recommend him for sure. But he's only going to be a one match day punt in my opinion, because I think he won't start in match day 4. But that's a really good suggestion. So to answer that guy's question, the best 5 million specifically and under is Tell. So thank you for the correction there. He is someone to consider if he starts, which apparently he will, and that's good news. Let me just try get up the message I missed. Love that I'm not the only one that sees Sesko as an amazing punt. Yeah, there's quite a few in the chat that believe so, and I think he is a good punt. I just like what Jukla's been doing all season, and he is someone I talked about from pre-season too. Brandt or Bellingham? Both good, but I would go for Bellingham, Marco. Can you double up on keepers like in FPL? There's no point of doing that, though. So no, in essence, you can't, because if you start one, the only way that your sub-keeper would come on is if, for example, you make no substitutions at all, and then they do it automatically, and they bring on the players that didn't play, or bring on the players that did play for those that didn't. So honestly, don't do that. Just have different keepers on different days. Son on a limitless. It is kind of risky because he hasn't been consistent all season, but yes, I would go for KDB though. I'm not sure if this is entirely true. I saw a comment the other day that De Bruyne has never been rested in the Champions League since 2016. If that's true, then obviously I just wouldn't want to go without De Bruyne. Sesko is pronounced Sheshko. Okay, fair enough. Thank you for that. Honestly, I wasn't aware, didn't hear the pronunciation, so thank you. I'll try to remember that. Hopefully I do. Alvarez punt. Yeah, that could be definitely one on the cards. It could be him and Haaland up front together. That is a fantastic suggestion too. Sane or Musiala, depending on who starts, basically Chile. But if they both start, Sane for me. What do you think of Mazzari? Is he good? I think he might start. A lot of predicted lineups have him starting. And yes, I think he's a decent choice if he does start, but not my favourite. I think Upamecano would be my preference, and also Davis. Thank you, Rock and Roll. Maybe I just didn't search well enough. Okay, thank you. I'm going to get this up. Was this the same? Oh, it's Manchester City latest news. It's a different website, but all good. So for those of you that wanted to see a different, well, predicted lineup for City, you can thank Rock and Roll for this. Hate cookies. Here we go. So the predicted lineup. Here we go. This is it. So Edison in goal, Gomez, Diaz, Ake, Cancelo, Gundogan, Bernardo, De Bruyne, Mahrez, Haaland, and Grealish. So no Foden, and I think that could happen. I think Mahrez will start. So I do agree with this. Another player that could feature is Alvarez, so that's one to keep an eye on. But yeah, De Bruyne for me will start, in my opinion, and Cancelo, as well as Haaland. That is my triple up in the City team. That's what I've done in my Limitless, the Wildcard team videos, and the team selection. And that isn't going to change. Best keeper for each day, in my opinion, it's Lunin and Neuer, yes. But if you aren't able to afford it, then I would go for Adan. Why no Mbappe? He is in my team. Just to make that clear, he is in my wildcard squad. What I'm showing on screen is different players that I haven't talked about. I will try to show my team at the end, but I'm trying to prevent mass copying, like I keep on saying. What about Pepe? He is one of the best in terms of balls recovered. He is, but Porto, I think they lost, what, by 4 or 5 in the last game? I can't remember, against Club Brugge. They just don't fill me with confidence. I wouldn't go for them. Thank you, the great Aditya, and thank you for becoming a channel member the other day. I appreciate it. Thank you, Julio Pena. Best goalkeepers on the wild card for me, and this is what I'm looking to do. So, you know, I'm already kind of telling you what I'm doing. Adan and also Lunin, because Courtois could be out for a long period of time. Also on Valverde, he's one of the best options at his price and below, but also consider Anguissa and also Kvaratskhelia from Napoli, but Valverde is a good choice. It's just I don't expect him to really maintain this output, but he is sometimes playing as a right winger, and that's why he is a better UCL Fantasy asset compared to the usual. Will Lenglet start? Good question. I believe so, but I wouldn't say he's set in stone for Matchday 3. Best cheap Man City midfielder? I would say Bernardo Silva. He was good in the Champions League last season. I think he's a good one. Also for ball recoveries and stuff. So, yeah, he would be the one. I just did 2 in 1, but there you go. Thoughts on Ajax right back? Rensch, he's a good choice. And you also have Bassi or Bassi. I need to check the pronunciations for some of these players. Yes, he's another one in the centre-back position. He's a fine choice, but he's got a tough group. I don't expect too many clean sheets for Ajax. So I would only go for Bassi because he's 4.1 million. I'm 5,746. Is that good? Of course it is, Liam. Of course. That's a great rank. Hey, brother, I am missing a forward. I have Haaland and Mbappe. Who would you recommend? If you want a premium striker, I would say Lewandowski. But If you want a cheap striker, consider a punt on Tell, who could be starting for Bayern Munich at 5 million, or go to Jukla or Sesko if you want kind of cheaper 6 million, 5 million forwards. Di Lorenzo, once again, another fine choice, and Napoli I think will top the group. They are the best team at the moment. They're unbeaten this season, but to be honest, I think when I look at Di Lorenzo, I don't expect too many clean sheets still in the group stages. Okay, Ventislav, I will try. Where did you send the screenshot? It's just I'm obviously in a stream right now. I want to get through your stuff, but I will try to go through it quite quickly. Akanji or Ake? I think Akanji is a bit more nailed on, but I could be wrong about that. Yeah, Moukoko might play against Sevilla. I saw a lineup where I think him, Modeste, and I forgot the other striker's name, Adeyemi, all are starting. I'm not sure if that will be the case. Royce could be back fairly soon, actually. I think Matchday 3 might be a bit too early, though. How much is Sheshko? Sorry, there we go, Sheshko. I believe he's 6 million. I'll bring him up for you just to give you the best answer, the right answer. Yes, he's 6 million, and he's got 3 points so far this season. He scored in the international break for Sweden. Yes, he's a good choice. Or maybe I got that wrong, actually. All right, let me try and get this sorted. Okay, fair enough, Ventislav. I tried to go through that. Ousmane Dembele, good choice, but once again, I have other preferences like Musiala, Sane if he starts, Bellingham and Foden if, you back him to start. Is Trent good for today's game week? Yes, I believe so. But it's kind of difficult for me to say he's a must-have or anything like that because Liverpool have been awful. He's been targeted on the right-hand side and he's not getting the attacking returns. Yeah, Kostic is a great option this week. For anyone asking about Kostic, he's a good choice. Not for me. I'm not going to go for Vlahovic. Just making that clear right now. Bellingham or Valverde? Bellingham for me. Nkunku or Bellingham? Bellingham for me. Will you include Juventus players in your draft? Yes. Kostic will be the one. Yes, Slovenia. That's it. I think he scored against Sweden. Thank you for the correction. I knew I messed up there. Thank you. Yeah, that's why I got it. Thank you, Dino, as well. And Andien. Thoughts on Sane and Musiala double up? That's what I'm looking to do as well. But if Sane doesn't start, I'm looking elsewhere. How many fourth players should we have? Fourth players? Sorry, maybe I'm kind of bugging out. I'm not sure what you mean there. Should I go for Kostic or Tomori? I'd go for Kostic. Tomori's better for ball recoveries, but he's facing Chelsea, who obviously has some history with. Kostic is an offensive fullback. He's playing as a left mid / left winger. I would go for Kostic. Nkunku or Bellingham, once again, I would go for Bellingham. Milik won't be featuring. I think there are reports that he's injured. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but it's kind of been talked about a lot today. Will you have Vinicius? At the moment, no, YouTuber, but he could feature in my final team. It just depends on Sane, because if Sane doesn't start, I might go to Vinicius, and then I think I need 0.6 million. I'll be talking about this soon. Like I said, I'm just trying to, make sure there's not too many copiers, but it will happen, unfortunately. 5 million defender, not Matip. 5 million defender, good question. Tsimikas, he's 4.5. I would probably go for him. Akanji at 5.1 if you can go to him. Yeah, Musiala captain looks really good. I'm looking to do that if Sane doesn't start. Yeah, you've asked a lot about Di Lorenzo, Nunamar. Well, I don't think I said your name right. Like I said, he's a good option. Napoli are the best team in that group, but I don't expect that many clean sheets, so I personally wouldn't go for him. Best midfielder around 5 million. Good question. I think Florentino is an easy one. You've got Anguissa and Kvaratskhelia around 5.6. I would go for one of those. Why would you go for Bellingham over Nkunku? Because he's a jack of all trades. Nkunku needs to score goals, and to be fair, he does plenty of that, but Leipzig haven't been that great so far. I know there's been a bit of a resurgence under the new manager, but with Bellingham you get goals, assists, ball recoveries, man of the match awards. He's a jack of all trades. I think he's a better choice, and Sevilla is a good fixture right now. Copying is no fun, but I guess people just want to beat their mates. Yeah, I know. I understand that. I wouldn't say we've all done it. Maybe we've all had a temptation at one point to copy people, but honestly, the best way to improve and to become a better manager and to even do even better is to not copy, in my opinion, because let's say, for example, you just copy what I do. You're always going to be kind of a step behind because obviously I know what I want to do next. And also, you can actually do much better than me if you just go your own way. You could even win the whole thing. That's the way I see it. But obviously, everyone plays the game the way they want. You can always go to Benzema from Lewandowski, yes. And Benzema is the kind of forgotten man. And that is true. But for me, a gut feeling is that Lewandowski is a better choice. And then you've got the others like Mbappe, Neymar, Messi, who is incredible right now. So that's why. Afternoon all. Is this your wild card? No, it isn't. It isn't. These are some kind of different picks. Basically, you can see it here as well. It's very clear. Carvajal, Joao Cancelo, Kvaratskhelia, Sane, and Haaland, as you can see, are all in my team. The rest is kind of some differentials and stuff like that. Some players I haven't really covered, such as Bellingham, who deserves a lot more credit than I've given him. He's been fantastic. Šeško as well. Lewandowski, obviously, I probably won't have at the moment, but I'm still thinking about it. And Alphonso Davies, I don't have the funds to go to him, but I would love it. And to be honest, he's been pretty good this season. Only 1 assist, I think. Maybe 2 if you count all competitions, but still. Yeah, okay, sorry. You asked the Di Lorenzo question several times. I'm just not going to go for it again. My defense is Carvalho, Otamendi, James, Cancelo, and Tsimikas. Any thoughts? It's a really solid defense. Maybe, I'm not sure what money you have, Julio. Otamendi, you could maybe change to Kostic if you have enough money. Obviously, it's a bit of a stretch there. I'm trying to think of who else you could go for. Let me see. Yeah, Upamecano at 5 million. He's another really good choice. Did you already say him? No, you haven't. So I think a Bayern Munich defender for Otamendi, Julio. I think that would be a really good way of improving it. Anyone tempted by Kane this week? He's another great choice, but I think his ceiling is lower with Spurs' defensive approach. They're away from home, I think, against Frankfurt. I need to double check that, by the way. I just wouldn't go for him personally, but he is a good choice. Yeah, Sergio Gomez is a fine budget option. But once again, I always have this kind of concerns about whether he's going to start or not. Vlahovic and Pedro Goncalves or Milik and Nkunku plus an extra 0.5 million. I'd probably go for Vlahovic and Pedro, Sumit, but they're both good duos. Yeah, Okafor's another good choice at 7.6 million, Lewis, but once again, Bellingham, Foden, Sane, Musiala, all my preferences. Big Lemon, De Bruyne is in my team. Like I said, this isn't my wildcard squad on screen. Can Messi cover Mbappe? Yes, he can. Thank you, Sudindra. Congrats on 15k subs. Next aim 20k. Let's go. I'll join your stream and discuss my UCL Fantasy wildcard team in 30 minutes. That's all good. Good luck with your studies and thank you for dropping by and your kind words. Di Lorenzo or Reece James? Tough one. I think I would go for Reece James, but I don't trust either team defensively, and Di Lorenzo is cheaper, so to be honest, I don't think there's much in it. Thoughts on Vinicius? He's a great choice. He's one of the best premium midfielders. Because De Bruyne faces Copenhagen back-to-back, and I think he will start, that's why I'm going for him, but Vinicius is a fine choice, and he could come in for me for Sane. Edison or KDB for third City spot? KDB all day long for me. Sergio Gomez seems like a bargain for me. Yes, I agree. That is a good point. I just still always have these kind of doubts. Obviously, Walker came off injured very early on in the Manchester derby. Mane for captain on the first day? I wouldn't personally. He hasn't scored that many goals for Bayern Munich this season, but he is facing Pilsen. He's probably going to be playing up front, so completely up to you. He is a good choice, but I personally wouldn't. Højbjerg or Kvaratskhelia? I'd go for Kvaratskhelia. Thoughts on Bergwijn? Still a good choice. He's been really good this season, but I think, once again, Bellingham, Foden, Musiala, who for me is the best option at 7 million, I would rather go to one of those players. Is that Bruno or Bellingham? Or Bruno? I'd go for Bellingham anyway. You think Akanji will start? I think the predicted lineup we talked about just now said Diaz and I almost forgot now, and Akanji. I need to double check that. So, look, I think he will start. I think Akanji will start. What is the best Bayern Munich defender? Davis or Upamecano for me? Firmino or Diaz? When you're looking at form, it has to be Firmino, but he takes a precious forward slot. So, honestly, I'd go for Diaz because of that. Any updates on Courtois? Like I said earlier, Harry, it is stated that Courtois could be out indefinitely, so they don't know when he's going to return. He could be out for several weeks, so Lunin is a great replacement, and you save a lot of money there. Really random, do you think Salzburg will get a clean sheet? They're facing Dinamo Zagreb, aren't they? So, let me actually go through the predictions, and then I'll show you what I'm actually thinking. So, we'll change this now. I think this is it. Let's see. Yeah, this one. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, Spurs are away, and let's go to the team you asked for. So, that's my prediction. I went for a 2-1 for Zagreb. I might change that, by the way, and you might be laughing at some of my predictions here, but yeah, I've gone for 2-1, so the answer is no. Best 3 forwards on the wild card. For me, Mbappe, Haaland, and if you're going for a budget striker, I would go for Tell from Bayern Munich, or personally, I would go for Jutgla. If you are going for free premium forwards, so to speak, I would go for Lewandowski instead of those budget options. Why do you choose Mudryk? He's not going to be my final squad. He's just an option that's been really good this season, and I think he could cause problems for Real Madrid, and he is someone worth considering. Yes, I'm playing the wildcard, Abdullah. Bellingham versus Son. Bellingham for me right now. Will Rafinha start today against Inter? I believe so, Shivam, but honestly, I can't tell you for sure. On 189 points overall, not a bad first 2 games. It's a really good start, Alex. Really good start. Son or Musiala? I'd go for Musiala. Is Valverde good? Yes, he is. What's a good goalkeeper to use to replace Courtois? Lunin. Like for like, he's way cheaper. Yeah, Haifa scored against PSG. I think they can score in Turin. I agree. But with Kostic, you really have him for the attack and returns. And if he gets a clean sheet, that's a bonus. Carlo Ancelotti said Courtois might be back for Matchday 4. Fair enough. I mean, this is the thing, though. I think Lunin is a good choice right now. The report I saw yesterday, which was relayed by Madrid Extra, said that he could be out indefinitely. So we just don't know yet. I think Upamecano's on the bench. That would be a big shame. We are going to find out, I think, in half an hour. So let's wait and see. Kostic or Hakimi? I think now, reassessing it, I would go for Kostic. Emerson or Guerreiro? Guerreiro. KDB or Foden? KDB. I think Foden has a bigger chance of being benched. Emerson, yeah, I answered that, Jeff. Mane or Sane? Sane. But once again, wait for Sane. Best Juve assets? Vlahovic up front. But for me personally, Kostic is the best choice overall. Okay, we're now going to go back to my team. Let me just get the right one. Okay, here we go. So, let's go through your questions again. Best 6 million midfielder? For me, it's Kvaratskhelia, Anguissa, or Florentino if you want a really cheap midfielder, sorry. What else do we have? Kudus versus Kvaratskhelia. Oh, here's another one I forgot to mention, Kudus. If I had to pick one, probably Kudus because he's playing up front for Ajax. A 4.7 million defender. Antonio Silva is 4.1 and also Otamendi. I'd probably say Guerreiro though, Raunak. Musiala or Bellingham, both fantastic, but if I had to pick one, it would be Musiala. Double Liverpool defence. I mean, it's a differential, it's a way of setting yourself apart, but I wouldn't do that. I don't have that much confidence in Liverpool keeping a clean sheet. And I've got Tsimikas, but he's the only one I'd go for. What about Pepe? Once again, look, you asked this before I answered. He's a good choice. He's great with ball recoveries, but I don't trust Porto enough, and that's why I'm not going for him. But if you trust them, go ahead with it. It's not bad. How much is Tsimikas? He's 4.5 million, Harry. But Robertson could be back fairly soon, even for the game against Arsenal at the weekend. The best one, replace Musiala. Why would you replace Musiala, though? Will you take a punt on Madrid's goalkeeper? Yes, I am doing that at the moment. Kimmich alternative. Musiala, if you can't afford them, then consider Valverde, Kvaratskhelia, Kudus, or also Anguissa. Any one of those is fine. Let me know if you have any preferences or not. Do you think Kudus is worth it on the wild card? Yes. Nkunku or Bellingham? Bellingham. Yes, I know Nkunku scored 2 goals of the week, but he hasn't been doing it in the Champions League, and I'm not that sure about Nkunku. But to be honest, Celtic at home, it could be returns, but for the long term, if you're wildcarding right now, who would I want for the rest of the group stages? For me, it's Bellingham. That's just my personal opinion. The best... Oh, I just answered that. Is Musiala good? He's not just good, he's really good. Fantastic option. Yes, I'm wildcarding Ahmad. Thoughts on Kostic? I think he's a great choice. I don't like Juventus too much, but he's got that offensive capabilities. He's playing as a left winger in essence. And against PSG, he was getting into some great positions. Bueno, Ramón, no es que estoy diciendo que Sane no va a empezar el partido, pero el periódico Bild de Alemania pusieron su alineación que piensan que va a empezar para Bayern München y ellos dicen que Sane va a estar en el banco, pero no sabemos. Ellos se equivocaron en el pasado, así que no sabemos. Y mira, en media hora vamos a saber la alineación, así que no importa en este momento. Ake starts? Not sure, to be honest. Maybe Pep does just to have a left-footed centre-back, but Laporte is also back, but I think he'll be eased back in. No Liverpool players. Tsimikas, I think, will be the player in my team, but that's about it. Yeah, Raunak, I answered your question, mate. Davis captaincy punt thoughts? Why not? You've got all these options like De Bruyne, Haaland, etc. tomorrow. I think that's fine. Kvaratskhelia and Tsimikas or Kudus and Matip? For me, Kvaratskhelia and Tsimikas, because Matip might not start. Obviously, I'm not sure about that, but Konate is back in training. He could be available and starting in that match. Cancelo and Diaz will play. I believe so. I think Cancelo will. Diaz, I'm not sure about 50-50, but there is a chance he starts as well. Trust me, I think Zambo Anguissa is better than Kvaratskhelia. I mean, if you look at the points so far this season, you could be right. And what Anguissa has is the ball recoveries, which Kvaratskhelia doesn't. Thank you, Exotic Lord, although in that moment, my Spanish wasn't that great. Thank you, Ramon. Will Haaland rest tomorrow? I don't think so. But look, don't, take responsibility for your decisions. He could be benched. I'm not denying that, but I think he will start. Kvaratskhelia or Zielinski? Kvaratskhelia. And also Anguissa. Thank you, Nube del Caribe. What a name. Should I keep the chips for the advanced stages? I talked about this in my best chip strategy guide, and that is also a serious option. It's all team dependent. I don't know what team you have, Hamza, so I can't give you a concrete answer one way or the other. But if you decide to save your Limitless or your Wildcard for the knockout stages, then I would consider putting the Limitless in Matchday 7 or 8, and also using the Wildcard in Matchday 9. That would be a really good time to use it. Would you go for Van Dijk or Carvajal? Carvajal all day long for me right now. Son or Musiala? At the moment, I'd probably go for Musiala. Kostic or Guerrero? Kostic. Tsimikas or Guerrero? Tsimikas. Have you used the Limitless chip? Yes, in Matchday 2, and I got 80 points. Matip or Guerrero? I just answered, didn't I? But anyway, Guerrero. Kvaratskhelia or Anguissa? At the moment, I'm going for Kvaratskhelia, but to be honest, I am having second thoughts about that. Anguissa or Bellingham? I'd go for Bellingham, but both really good choices. How about Kudus? Also a fantastic choice, playing up front. Do not worry that I didn't play at the weekend. I think that's actually a plus, and he's going to start this week. Is Milik a good option? I think there are reports that he's injured, and either way, I wouldn't go for him, but he isn't a bad choice, of course. Can you say hi to Ecuador? I'm not a celebrity or anything, okay? And I actually have a lot of Ecuadorian friends, but obviously big up Ecuador. My Ecuadorian friends that are going to be watching this are going to be laughing, honestly. But yeah, like I said, I've got some really good friends from Ecuador. So yeah, big up Ecuador, hi to Ecuador, anything you want. But yeah, some tough games as well between Argentina and Ecuador recently. Some good matches. Why Lewandowski or Mbappe? Like I said, this isn't my team. Just to make that very clear, this isn't my team. I'm just preventing mass copying. I'll probably show my team very, very soon. But like I said, I don't want to just have people mindlessly copying my team. That's all. How about no KDB? Once again, the same thing. Matip alternatives. Upamecano, Tsimikas. And look, Matip could start. It's just with Konate back, I'm not sure if that will be the case. I'm the same rank as you. Best of luck this match day. Yeah, I mean, obviously, best of luck to you as well, because, if I do well, you might do well as well. So hopefully. Sorry, just joined the stream. Is that the wildcard team you're most likely going for? No. No. So basically, everyone that you see that isn't highlighted, they're in my wildcard squad. The rest isn't. That's pretty much it. And look, there might be a few players that I might change even, for example, Kvaratskhelia out for Anguissa, but I'll be showing my team maybe in an hour or two's time, should I say. English, Dylan, English. Carvajal or Hakimi? Carvajal. Honestly, I would go for Carvajal. Trent alternatives for Limitless? Kostic. He would be one of the main ones. Kostic. Yeah, Sonny. Like, this is the thing, though. You say show your team after the deadline, but then other people say show it before. You're not going to be able to please everyone. And look, I would love to show my team and talk about it. People rip it apart or, say what they like or don't like. But like I said, it's just to prevent mass copying. What are some players I should use for the Limitless? Kostic at the back, Davis. It's all in my Limitless team video, by the way. I'd make a few changes, maybe Hakimi out for Kostic. Also Courtois out for Lunin, because Courtois will be out in Matchday 3. So a few things like that. Why have you used your wildcard this week? Well, if we look to this team, so let me bring this screen up, and we bring up Matchday 1. So this is how my team would look like going into Matchday 3. I used the Limitless in Matchday 2, so I would have only 2 free transfers to sort out this. And Ottomani's facing PSG back-to-back. The same goes for João Mario. Courtois is injured. Koundé is also injured. You've also got Reynildo, who I'm not convinced about. You've got Nkuku, who, to be fair, has been in decent form in the league, but he hasn't been that great all season in the Champions League. Højbjerg isn't a great choice. I thought he'd be better. Obviously, it's kind of hard to judge. He did really well for me in Matchday 1. Bergwijn as well. I think there are better choices like Bellingham, Musiala, etc. I've got no PSG attacker. I've got no Bayern Munich midfielder. I've got so many problems in my team. No De Bruyne or third Man City player against Copenhagen. So come on, I think there's a lot of reasons why. I know you're asking the question, and just you want an answer. That's all. But that's pretty much. There's a lot of reasons why I've played the wild card. Kvaratskhelia or Kudus? I'd go for Kudus actually, but it's really, really close. Bremer also good because Kostic gets subbed at 60, 70. Yeah, that is true, and Bremer would be better for ball recovery points. That is a fair point. You believe in Lewandowski over Mbappe? No. No, I don't. Like I said, and to make this very clear, it's not my final team. Yes, Veslim, if I sounded very passionate, it's probably because my voice has kind of just been messed up for the last week or so. Dylan, has the deadline closed? No, it hasn't. The deadline closes at 5:45 UK time, so in an hour and 28 minutes time from the time that I just said that. Is Juventus goalkeeper good for the wild card? Yes, but I would rather go for Lunin. And then you've also got a few other options like Meyer from Dortmund, and you also have Adan from Sporting Lisbon. I think Soldier Boy Silo, I saw a few reports that he was injured. I'm not sure how true that is, but honestly, I wouldn't be that confident of returns for him anyway. Neuer or Lunin? I personally would go for Lunin, but Neuer is a fabulous choice. On the Limitless, I'd go for Neuer potentially, but otherwise, for your kind of wildcard team and your structure, I think I'd rather go for Lunin, but that's a personal opinion there. Hey, Florentino or Onyedika? I've probably butchered that. I'd go for Florentino. Listening to you on the way home in Trinidad in the rain right now. Wow. Big up Trinidad and Tobago. Once again, I knew someone actually from school that was from there. And hopefully you're enjoying the stream, and hopefully you do really well this week. And thank you for that. And hopefully the rain isn't too bad, because I know in those parts it can be quite turbulent. I've experienced it as well in Argentina. Still a nice option for recoveries. Yes, he is. He is, for sure. I'm not sure what the situation is in terms of the injuries or anything like that. Anguissa or Kvaratskhelia, once again, I am going for Kvaratskhelia, but Anguissa is getting defensive returns as well in terms of ball recoveries. Haaland plus De Bruyne or Haaland plus Vinicius? At the moment, I'd say De Bruyne, but Vinicius is more nailed on. Under 9 million forward. Let's go back to the other screen and give you an answer, just to kind of recap my memory, because I don't know, every single price off the top of my head, but I will give you a few suggestions. Jukla is very cheap, but I like him. I also like Šeško. You've also got Tal from Bayern Munich. He's 5 million. Be aware of that. In terms of midfielders, around 8-9 million. I think Rafael Leao is decent, but he's facing Chelsea, so I'm not going to even talk about him. Let's go down this list. I think we can find someone else that could actually meet your requirements. I would have said Milik as well, but there are doubts about him starting. I think there's injury concerns. I'm not sure how true that is. Otherwise, he would have been my answer, and that's it. I think Vlahovic would be the one then. 9 million against Maccabi Haifa. It'd be Vlahovic, if not one of those budget strikers I told you about. Benzema or Mbappe? I'd go for Mbappe. Yeah, okay, I've heard this a lot of times. Sporting Lisbon, Sporting Club de Portugal. Okay, I'll just call them Sporting, that's it. I'm not even going to go into that. Anyone from Juventus on the wildcard besides Kostic? Maybe Vlahovic, but I wouldn't force it. Juventus aren't that great of a team. I mean, if you look at their form, I think they won their last game against Bologna, but very inconsistent. Yeah, a lot of people from Trinidad and Tobago in the chat. It's good to see. Is Van Dijk and Trent double up big of a risk? Yes, it is, in my opinion. I know they're facing Rangers, and I think they will keep a clean sheet, but based on what we've seen this season, I mean, the chances are that they probably won't. Thank you, Ben. Alisson or Neuer? And Neuer all day long for me. Option for Milik, once again, the same kind of options. Šeško at 6 million. You've also got Jukla at 5.5. Tel, I think it is, from Bayern Munich at 5 million. He could start today. Debating if I should wildcard this. Meyer, Azpilicueta, Upamecano, Cancelo, Bergwijn, João Mario, Vinicius, Nkunku, Hazard, Benzema, Haaland. To be honest, your team looks good. It's a bit similar to mine in some ways, and I'm not saying you're copying, by the way, don't worry. Like, if I'm trying to pick it apart, Azpilicueta, that's kind of a red flag. Maybe João Mario as well. Hyundai, he's injured. Gribic, and Brobby as well. So really, it's kind of like 3 to 5 players that are concerned. The rest is good. So I can understand your reservations about wildcarding. But to be honest, whether you wildcard or not, I think your team's in good shape, basically. Yes, Jose, I will. I will show my team for the members, and I will show it for everyone, but probably just before the deadline. And once again, it's not to get people to sign up or anything. The reason why I need to make this very clear is to prevent mass copying, and that's why I've always done it. Because in Matchday 1, I left my team on screen, and people, you know, I was seeing a lot of people around the same rank, and a lot of them, I think, did copy move for move, and it happened last season as well. But yes, I will be doing that very, very soon. Luis Diaz could score or assist. Of course he can. I think Rangers is a good fixture, and Liverpool will score 2 or 3 goals at least. But defensively, that's where I'm concerned about. Is Valverde a good option? Yes, he is. Kunde best replacements? Upamecano, I think, is a really good one. You've also got Akanji. Why is there Sane won't start comments in the chat? Because Bild and other German outlets basically put in their predicted lineup that Sane will be rested, and you know, that's the kind of common consensus. Messi or Lewandowski? It's actually a close one. I think Lewandowski because he's a better goal scorer right now, but for me, Messi, you know, you can never rule him out, and he's been great this season, but Lewandowski, I'd say. Jota or Firmino? Based on form, I'd have to say Firmino, but what I think could happen is that Firmino's benched for this game, and he starts against Arsenal at the weekend, so it's going to be a risk either way. Valverde or Vinicius? I'd go for Vinicius if you can. They're both great choices, though. Should just not show your team in full one game week. Yeah, but I mean, look, there's always going to be complaints about that. No matter what I do, there's going to be complaints. And once again, I would love to show my team, but I also have to be quite, you know, wary about copiers. Who takes Bayern penalties? Good question. And one that I wish I knew the answer to. I don't think it's Mane. I'm trying to think now. Honestly, I think anyone who watches Bayern Munich would be much better equipped to answer this in the chat. But honestly, I don't know the answer to that. Obviously, before it was Lewandowski. Now I have no idea. Honestly, no idea. Hola Cesar, estoy bien. ¿Y vos? Gracias por preguntar. I think I'll switch Neuer for Lunin if Neuer only makes 5 points. Yeah, honestly, that looks really good. Joao, looks really good. Looks like many are going without Benzema. I got him and Vinicius. Thoughts on both? I mean, it's a nice differential to have. For me personally, Vinicius is my preference. You know, I would rather have him to cover Real Madrid attack right now, but Benzema is the forgotten man. And honestly, it's good to have both, but I do prefer other forwards than Benzema at the moment. Son is not going to start. We're going to find out in 10 minutes. We get the lineups 1 hour and 15 minutes before the game starts, so don't worry. Mane's been taking them recently. Okay, that was surprising. You know, Mane was the kind of first one I was saying, but you know, I was not sure about it, so I didn't want to, you know, just say something that wasn't true. Fair enough. Mane's on penalties. Yeah, thank you for the correction, Miguel, Tech, Isak, and all of you. Fadil as well, and Francis. Bellingham or Kudus or Valverde? Bellingham for me. It's out late. It's Muller's. Oh, Muller. I mean, this is the thing. I don't know. I think it's Mane at the moment, and I trust everyone who's talking in the chat. Muller would have been kind of like the obvious choice, you could say. But I think he's been quite inconsistent with penalties in recent years. Mane took the last one, fair enough. Let's wait and see. It could be a surprise, basically. Cheers from Zagreb, Croatia. Oh my god, what is the voice crack? Yeah, thank you very much. Big up Croatia. I was actually looking to going there on holiday. Really nice place. I probably will at some point. Pedro, no es mi equipo de Wildcard. Muller or Sane? Sane. Sane starting. Okay, I will check that out. And yes, Pedro, relax. Try not to spam the chat. I answered your question. Budget Juventus defender, Danilo or Cuadrado, both are 5 million. Probably Cuadrado for the attacking potential. Sane starting. There you go. So Build got it wrong yet again. I'm going to take a quick water break because I definitely need it. I'm going to try get the lineup on screen so we can all ponder on it and celebrate. Jesus, my voice is going to go. So let's hopefully see if it's on the Bayern Munich Twitter. Maybe it isn't. Yeah, typical. It isn't. It probably is on the UEFA website. Let's see now if I refresh the page, if I can see the match build up, and we will check it out. No, it's still not there. Maybe SofaScore can help us. I mean, this is kind of hopeless, isn't it? But yeah, I'll be right back. Don't worry, I'm just trying to recover my voice. Okay, so I am back. If you have any links, yeah, thank you, Rock and Roll. You're always so quick with the links. Okay, I will bring this up on screen. I appreciate it. I have it here. So for those of you that don't know, and hopefully there's no pop-ups that happen because UEFA love to put a pop-up video and then I get copyrighted. Absolute mugs. So yeah, Neuer in goal, Mazzauri, Upamecano, De Ligt, Davis, Goretzka, Gravenberch, Sane, Musiala, Mane, and Gnabry. That's a strong lineup, and yeah, Sane is going to be my team. Same with Upamecano and Musiala. All of them are in my squad. All good. I could also maybe, if I have enough money at some point, I could go to Davis instead of Upamecano, but Upamecano I think is a great choice for the ball recoveries. It's just a bit concerning that he sometimes comes off a bit early, but there you go. Those are the lineups. I don't think I need to read out the Pilsen team. I don't think any of us are considering their assets. No disrespect. So yeah, Sane starts, and once again, you know, I said this earlier, they keep on saying Sane is going to be benched, and he keeps on starting, and to be honest, look, this is my personal opinion, I think Sane is Bayern's best player, and definitely this season. He's been fantastic, so consistent with goal contributions, even last season. Lionel Messi will return to Barcelona next summer, maybe. I'm not sure how reliable that source is, and to be honest, I don't think he cares about PSG anyway, but he's been doing well this season. Sí, Joaquín, soy de Argentina. Pero también tengo doble nacionalidad. What do you think is the best goalkeeper for EC after Courtois injury? I'm guessing a wildcard. For me, Lunin would be the great replacement for him, if not Neuer. That's a like for like. Sane captain, yes, that is going to be my captain today. Best captain for the game week, in my opinion, Sane for today. If not, you can go for Lewandowski. And tomorrow, on the Wednesday, you can go to Haaland, De Bruyne, or Mbappe. Argentina to win the World Cup? I hope so, but look, you've got Brazil, who are also strong. You've also got France, who have been shaky, but they still have the quality. And then you've got Spain, Germany, who could also, you know, I know Germany haven't looked great, but, you know, they're always a contender. Italy would have been a contender if they were here. Look, there's always different teams to look out for. I don't think Messi likes how Barca treat him, and he seems happy at PSG now. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's all speculation at this point, I think. I'll check that link out, Superstar, but yeah, let's wait and see. Veronica Brunati, over 100,000 followers. Yeah, Argentinian journalist. Look, she could be right, and look, it does make sense, but let's wait and see. I think it's kind of too early. Yeah, Sane starts. That's the big news that we have right now. Casa, look, I'm promising you. I mean, try to be my own position. You know, reading comments from over 500 people watching. It's not easy. I'm trying my best. You know, put your question again, I'll answer it, but you know, try to be understanding. It's not easy to go for every single question and comment, and I try to go for as many as possible. Upamecano or Davis? I think, look, I've got Upamecano right now, but if I had enough money, I think I would go for Davis. Davis for the attacking returns, although he hasn't got that much this season. Upamecano is better for ball recoveries. Yeah, we've got the lineups on screen, Raunek. It's on screen. Will Musiala start? Look, he's starting. He's on screen, mate. Any sporting news yet? Not that I'm aware of, but I will look for it. Any sporting? Yeah, I just read that. Sorry. Best midfielder for 5.5 or less. Oh, I don't know. I think Anguissa's 5.6, so I can't say him. Probably Kudus. Yes, Kudus from Ajax. Messi or Mbappe? I'd probably go for Mbappe. Kudus is in my team, Joao. He is in my team. Would you go for Carvajal or Kostic? Carvajal. Wait, am I not showing it on screen? I'm pretty sure if you see on screen, I've got the UEFA website on. Yeah, let me know if you can see the Bayern lineup, but I've got it on screen. Kvaratskhelia and De Bruyne or Bellingham and Foden? Probably Kvaratskhelia and De Bruyne because I'm not sure if Foden starts. Welcome, Amir. I'm doing well. What about you? How many days Courtois unavailable? Honestly, look, we don't know yet. Someone earlier said that Ancelotti said he could be back for Matchday 4, but I saw a report yesterday saying that Courtois could be out indefinitely, so he could be out for several weeks. Messi masterclass tomorrow is possible. Benfica is a tough opponent, though. Best goalkeeper at 4 million, for me, it's Lunin. No doubt about it. You've also got Meyer, but I'd go for Lunin. 5.7 defender, for me, Davis. Davis, Upamecano. I mean, you've got a lot of options, but Davis is probably my favourite. Adan or Meyer? Adan for me. Kvaratskhelia and De Bruyne. Yeah, I answered that. Ezin, once again, I go for Kvaratskhelia and De Bruyne. Yeah, I don't know, Rock and Roll. I mean, look, I do realize some people like listen, they don't watch your stuff. And look, what really kind of frustrates me sometimes is when because I always try to go for every single question, is when I actually answer someone's question or comment and they still ask it again and then they claim that I haven't answered it. You know, that is the most frustrating bit happens. Benzema or Lewandowski for this match day? For me, Lewandowski. Benzema has the better fixture, and you could argue the highest ceiling. But I think Lewandowski will get more goals in this Champions League campaign. But look, if you're playing it for this match day only, it's a really tough one. And look, I could be wrong about that. I'd probably still go for Lewandowski. It's a gut feeling I have, and I could be wrong. Best goalkeeper for today for under 5 million. For me, it'd be Adan from Sporting Lisbon. Gnabry is good too. He hasn't been great for Bayern Munich recently, though, and a lot of Bayern fans actually don't want him near the team. I would rather go for Musiala and Sane, but yes, he is a good pick. Pavard or Upamecano? For me, Upamecano. Valverde or Murdic? I'd go for Valverde. Top 3, 5.1 million defenders. I would say Upamecano, Akanji, and I would also go for maybe Guerreiro. That would be a good set of players there for you. Ajax or Napoli? I think Napoli are a better team. Both good, though. Valverde or Bellingham? Bellingham for me. Davis or Alaba? Davis. Neuer and Tsimikas or Alisson and Upamecano? Neuer and Tsimikas. Hola Diego, desde Panamá. ¿Qué opinas de Bellingham para hoy? Para mí Sevilla es un equipo flojo y sí, para mí Bellingham es una buena opción y también tienes a Brandt. Royce puede estar en el equipo, pero no creo que lo van a arriesgar en la jornada 3. Para mí, Bellingham es una buena opción, pero también tienes a Musiala para 7 millones. Para mí, él es mi preferencia y creo que va a anotar algunos goles o asistencias en este partido de hoy. Neymar or Messi? Trying to get Mbappe. I mean, on current form, I'd probably say Messi, but both are fantastic. You can't go wrong. Neymar or Lewandowski? Probably Lewandowski if I had to pick one. Is Simikan from Leipzig good? He is. He's been doing well so far this season, but I don't trust Leipzig that much defensively, despite some good performances under their new manager. Dylan, what's your native language? I mean, it's technically English. I speak Spanish all the time at home, but my English is better, for sure. Best 7 million midfielder, Musiala for me, Ishan. Best defender under 5 million, Guerreiro's up there. I might be forgetting somebody, by the way. And by the way, we've shown this for a long time. I'm going to go back now to the squad that I showed you. But like we talked about, Sane is starting, so no worries about him whatsoever. I'm now going to check my team. And yeah, no need to change anything now. I think I'm going to be rolling with this. And actually, I've got 0.3 million in the bank, so I can't go from Upamecano to Davis. I'll show you probably in a little while. And yeah, I'll put it up for members and patrons and stuff like that, so they can see it first. But you know, you don't have to sign up for to see the teams or whatever. You will probably see it in around an hour's time. No guarantees, but like I said, mass copying is a no-go for me if possible. I'm going to try and get a screenshot out. I think I've got it all set up, so just bear with me for a second. I'm going to be updating my YouTube and Patreon pages. But yeah, just be a bit patient. I will be showing you my team at some point. And by the way, we've got over 800 people watching, almost 900, and we reached 15,000 subscribers today. Thank you very much. And we've got 174 likes, which obviously I thank everyone who's already done so. But let's try to get to 300 likes. I think we could definitely do that, and then maybe even push on to 400 and beyond. So let's keep on smashing the like button. Thank you to everyone who's already done so. I appreciate it. And let me just update these things very quickly, and then we'll be back answering your questions as always. So let's just do that. So I don't think there'll be any changes for this, by the way. And if there are, I'll show it on screen. It's just for those members and patrons to be aware. So just write this quickly. Okay, I got the image here. All done. I think this is all done. Yeah. All right. All right, it's all done there. It's available now on YouTube. And now I'm going to do it on Patreon very, very quickly. So apologies, just try to be very patient, and I'm going to go through all your questions. It's going to be a tough one, but I think we can do it. Yeah, here we go. Okay, we're about to do it. Almost done. Bear with me for a second. All right, that is all done. Okay. Back to your questions, which is the most important thing. Okay, thank you, by the way, to Marco Vieto for becoming a differential. I appreciate it. Why are you benching Davis? Remember, this is not a... this is not my squad, and these are the transfers. These is the transfer section, so I can't actually bring on players and stuff like that. So don't worry about it. I wouldn't bench Davis. Make sure you don't do that as well. Would you do Musiala and Upamecano or Fabinho and Davis? Musiala and Upamecano, I think, is the best one. Julio Peña, yeah, and that's what I've done. Sporting lineup out. Okay, we can go through that as well. Let's see if I can get it on the Sporting Lisbon page. Okay, I think should all be good here. Hopefully no issues. Copyright, no problems. Good. All right, let's go now to the Sporting Lisbon page, and if not, we'll probably go to the UEFA website. I think someone will probably put a link, and obviously I appreciate it. So let me just close the things I haven't reused. All right, here. Sporting Lisbon, have you posted your lineup? No, they haven't. Okay, so UEFA website it is. UEFA website, it has to be. But yeah, we can put the Bayern Munich lineup one more time, since they've already put it on Twitter as well, just for those of you that aren't aware. Okay. Will Perrin start? I think Szczesny will. He started at the weekend. Nkunku or Diaz? Nkunku. Should I play Mane, Sane, and Musiala and let Davis out? I mean, a triple up in Bayern attack looks great, but I would go for one Bayern Munich defender. I'd go for Davis, Sane, and Musiala. Hello from Colombia. Thank you, Edward. Hakimi or Alaba? I'd go for Hakimi, but to be honest, I would actually rather go for Kostic, so that would be a major change from my Limitless Team video. Have you ever finished first in a match week? No, I don't think so. No, I've had some really good weeks where maybe I was close, but I don't think first. Yeah, thank you, Rock and Roll. I appreciate it. I'm currently 13th in the world. Fair play, Dario. I'll be backing you to win it. You're in a good position. How about Vlahovic? Good choice. If you want to strike at 9 million and below, he's probably your guy. But at 1 million more, I can go for Neymar. You know, I can go for Messi for a little bit more as well. You've got the usual suspects, Lewandowski, Haaland, and Mbappe. So not really a spot for me in the team, but he is a good choice. Musiala or Gnabry, I'd go for Musiala. Son on Bellingham, I would go for Bellingham, actually. On a Limitless, maybe not, but for the long term, I'd rather have Bellingham. Lewandowski, Haaland, and Mbappe for me, if you can. Sane versus KDB? Sane. I had to think about that one. Musiala and Davis or Sane and Davis? I'd go for Sane, personally. They're both good. Has someone ever told you look like Danmar? No. I've been told I look like Werner, Mason Mount, Marco Reus, Tony Cruz. I mean, just keep on naming anyone. McAllister. Yeah, I've been talked about a lot like that. Thank you, Sergi, for becoming a differential. I appreciate it. I'm 484th. Really good rank as well. Lewandowski or Mbappe? Mbappe. Best forward under 8 million? I would probably go for Jukla. Or... I mean, Tell wasn't playing, by the way. So for those of you that heard the suggestions earlier, and that was with the assumption he started, don't go for Tell now. He is a 5 million forward, but he's on the bench. Do you think Diego Jota will start? I think he could, and Firmino will be rested for the Arsenal game. Okafor Forts, he's a good choice. He's a 7.6 million midfielder, but I prefer Bellingham, Foden, Musiala, etc. But he's a good choice. Your thoughts on PSG trio? Seems like flipping a coin. Yes, it is true. I think Neymar has the lowest ceiling of the three. And Mbappe for me is the best one. You know, he scores the most goals. He's also kind of a man of the match award magnet, even when he doesn't deserve it. I'm not sure. No channel name has come up here, but thank you, AVC, for becoming a differential. And by the way, don't worry, I will be showing my team very soon, but I'm trying, like I said, to prevent mass copying. So hopefully that is clear. Best 7.9 million forwards, once again, I'd go for Jukla, Šeško. Yeah, just those two, actually. Lewandowski or Mbappe? I would go for Mbappe, like I said. And by the way, another 7 million forward, 7.9 million forward and below could be a Borussia Dortmund one. I think Modeste could be one, or I think it's Mukuku. Let me just get up the chats I just missed. Like I said, the chat's been absolutely crazy today. Meyer or Micheli? I'd probably go for Meyer. I think I've pronounced it wrong, by the way. Defender under 4.6 million. Yes, he is good, Konstantinin, but I would rather go for Antonio Silva, I think, because he's cheap. He can get ball recovery points. And I'm not that sure about Club Brugge defenders, despite their really good start to the season. Hola, Dylan, ¿qué opinas de Heung-min Son? Es una buena opción. Y mira, no hizo nada en contra Arsenal. Tuvo momentos, pero el pase no fue bueno. Y es una buena opción, siempre lo es. Y para un Limitless creo que lo pondría en mi equipo, pero para un Wildcard o para una transferencia normal, perdón, no lo pondría en mi equipo. Werner o Nkunku? Nkunku. Yeah, once again, TKO. I think Jota will start. I can't tell you that with confidence, though. Neymar or Messi? Right now, I'd go for Messi. Sporting, thank you, Superstar. I appreciate those of you that put the links in the chat because it honestly saves me a lot of hassle. Is that the SofaScore one? If it is, I think I've already got the link up anyway, but I appreciate it. We'll go to the Sporting Lisbon lineup now. This will also play a part in our plans. Okay, Sporting, hello, fantastic. Maybe you know what, I'm just using your link. Okay, I'm using your link. I'm not going to be stubborn. Is this the... Oh, it says possible lineups, by the way, just to let you know, Superstar. It is the possible lineups. It's not the official ones yet. But Adan is in my team, by the way, just to let you know, from Sporting Lisbon. Thank you, TKO. Okay, thank you, thank you. Best goalkeeper on a wild card. For me, it'd be Lunin and Adan. If you have the money, then you can go for Noy instead of Adan. Do you think Courtois will be able to play this match? I don't think so. Maybe matchday 4, but not right now. Amigo, Matip o Kostic. Para mí, Kostic. Matip, hay una posibilidad que Matip no juegue porque está con Nati también entrenando, pero Kostic está jugando como un delantero. Así que lo pondría en mi equipo y está jugando con Maccabi Haifa. Captain Lewandowski or Gnabry, I'd go for Lewandowski. Thoughts on Tsimikas for a cheap Liverpool defender? I'm going for him, and I think he's a fine choice, but he's not a good long-term option. Lee, I talked about Kudus a lot of times in this video. He is in my team as well. I think he's a good choice. Just to make clear, like I said, what you saw was not my final squad. But yeah, we'll go back to my team now, or the alternative squad, we can call it. Name our next match best. Yeah, he could be. It's possible. Once again, Lewis, I'd go for Messi. Both are really good, though. Do you think KDB starts? I believe so, Alex. I think he will. Cancelo alternative. I would go for him, to be honest, but if you want alternative, I'd go for Trent, potentially, despite his poor start to the season. Kostic, Davis, etc. How is Raspadori from Napoli? He's decent, but I probably would rather go for Di Lorenzo. And I'm not a big fan of Napoli defensively. I'd rather target their midfielders. Kudus or Kvaratskhelia, I'd go for Kudus. Romero, I wouldn't go for any Spurs players at the moment, at least in the defence. Maybe a Son or Kane, but either way, I'm not that convinced. Ousmane Dembele good? Yes, he is. Best forward under 7.5 million? Okay, I'll try to answer this question and give you a concrete name. For me, Jukla's a fine option, and you've also got Šeško. But another one that could be really good is Petkovic, actually, and I backed Zagreb to win 2-1. Orsic, fantastic player. So those are some good choices for you. And another one, I think there's a Dortmund player. Modest could play. I'm not saying he will, but there's a chance he starts and he could be pretty decent. But really, my answer for you would be either Jukla, Petkovic, or Orsic. I think they are three of the best ones if you are willing to spend 7 million on a forward. Welcome, Golden Boys. Pick 2, KDB, Sane, Vinicius. It would be the first two, KDB and Sane. Yeah, Joao, once again, Messi would be my answer. Haaland will start. I believe so. Vinicius or Foden, I'd go for Vinicius because I'm not sure if Foden starts. Upamecano or Davis. If I had the money, I'd probably go for Davis because of the attacking potential, but he's only got 1 assist this season, Alfonso. Vinicius or KDB, I'd go for KDB. KDB and Reinildo or Foden and Kostic. Assuming Foden starts, I'd go for the second duo, but honestly, I think I'd probably go for KDB and Reinildo just to be on the safe side. Milik, 7 million forward. I heard stuff about him being benched. I'm not sure what the case is there. So, look, he's a fine choice if he starts, but I'm not sure if he does. I'm not sure what the deal is with him. And I'd rather go for Vlahovic, I think, from Juventus. Okay, thank you, Rock and Roll. I'm going to put this now once again. So here we go. The Sporting lineup is out. Adan is in goal. We've got Reis, Justy, Morita, Edwards, Nuno Santos, Ugarte, Trincao, Inacio, Goncalves, and Isgao. Isgao? Okay, whatever. Portuguese people are going to be laughing at me, but there you go. The Marseille lineup is Pau Lopez, Bailly, Balerdi, Guendouzi, Klaus, Cengiz Under, Veretout, Tavares, Sanchez, Harit, and you just ruined it because now I need to find the other guy I didn't say, you mug. Who did I not say? Mbemba. There you go. It literally just changed as I was reading it out. But there you go. That is the other lineup. We have got all the lineups out. Remember, Sane is also starting for Bayern München. So, happy days, unless he blanks. Thank you for sorting that out, Larga. I appreciate it. Is Jukla a starter? Yes, he's been scoring a lot of goals as well consistently. He scored over the weekend. Zambo Anguissa or Kvaratskhelia? Really close. I'd probably go for Kvaratskhelia for the attacking potential, but they're both fantastic. And I'd go for KDB. Son sobre Sané para diferencial en el capitán. Yo hice lo mismo en la jornada 2 y no me fue bien. Para mí no lo haría y pondría a Sané como mi capitán. Son es muy... hizo un muy buen partido en contra el Leicester y para Corea del Sur, pero en todos los otros partidos para Spurs, en contra Sporting Lisbon, en contra Marsella, también en contra Arsenal, fue malísimo, así que no lo pondría sobre Sané, especialmente como capitán. Valverde or Vinicius, I'd go for Vinicius. Ashraf, Salah or Diaz, I would go for Salah if he can. Not sure if he's worth the money though. Musiala or Valverde, it has to be Musiala. Lewandowski or Mbappe, I'd go for Mbappe. 4.8 million midfielder, it has to be Florentino. Vinicius Jr. or Salah, Vinicius. Guerrero and Upamecano, I'd go for Upamecano. Yeah, no Pavard, yeah, exactly. Messi or Neymar, once again, I go for Messi. Both good though, you can't go wrong. Hola Dylan, Upamecano o Guerrero. Yo pondría Upamecano. Creo que va a recuperar la pelota bastante veces para acumular algunos puntos y también tenés tener una valla invicta, creo que se llama. Así que pondría Upamecano. ¿Qué opinas de Perisic? La verdad no está jugando al nivel que esperaba. Es una buena opción, pero no estoy tan confiado en una valla invicta para Spurs, así que no lo pondría en mi equipo. Mbappe over Benzema? Yes, I would. Perisic or Trent? I would go for Trent. Yes, I would. Paulson Richarlison? I mean, he could start because Kulusevski's injured, but honestly, I wouldn't go for him. Is it smart to play Lewandowski over Mbappe just because he plays today? Mate, play anyone who plays today, put them in your starting 11. So yes, do that. And if any players blank, you can then bring on the substitutes who play tomorrow. You can bring them on during the substitution window for those who've already played. Be sure to check out the How to Play UCL Fantasy guide. All your questions will be answered there. Yes, Nkunku is a good choice, Amit, but I think there are better ones. De Bruyne replacement, Vinicius Jr. How many languages can you speak? Only 2. Sorry to disappoint. I wish I could speak more. The best 4.5 million goalkeeper, for me, Adan. And you've also got Lunin at 4. Captain Musiala or Lewandowski? I'd probably go for Musiala, actually. Danilo or Cuadrado? Cuadrado. Best striker? For me, it's Haaland. Pep might rest some guys. Yeah, he could. I'd go for De Bruyne. I think he won't be rested, but I could be wrong, of course. Get Tsimikas. He is in my team, Marco. Is it better to go for Limitless today? It's all team dependent, but yes, he's a good choice. Superstar. Like I said, this is not my final team. It's not my final team. Perrin or Meyer? I'd go for Meyer. I don't think Perrin starts. City midfielder. Once again, Cesar. I would go for De Bruyne. Haaland to start? I believe so. Best forward under 5 million? There's no one really. I mean, I don't think there's absolutely anybody. Thank you, DC. I appreciate it. And hopefully you do very well this week. Courtois replacement, not Neuer. Lunin. Like for like. Saves you a lot of money. Easy. Will Courtois play today? No, I don't think so, Adam. It looks like it's going to be Lunin, just like at the weekend. Get Gnabry instead of Salah? Maybe, but I would rather go for Musiala and Sane. Best defender under 4.5 million. I would probably go for Silva, Marco, but they're all decent choices. Hola Dylan, Kvaratskhelia or Kudus? Pondría a Kudus, Esteban. Hi Dylan, pick 2 from Musiala, Neuer and Sane. I would go for Musiala and Sane. Vinicius Jr. or De Bruyne? De Bruyne. Use the wildcard or wait? I'm using the wildcard myself, but it's all team dependent, mate. I'm not sure what your team situation is. Sane or Mane? I think it's an easy one. I'd go for Sane. ¿Qué opinas de Meya y Adam para mi wildcard? Me parece muy bien. Yo estoy haciendo lo mismo, pero pongo a Lunin en vez de Meyer. Y para mí es una muy buena dupla. Will Szczesny start for Juventus? He started at the weekend, and I believe he will start again, but there's no guarantees. Anguissa or Kvaratskhelia? I would go for Kvaratskhelia, but they're both really good. And Anguissa is a bit more of a jack of all trades. And that answers Marco's question as well. Hola, ¿crees que Firmino juega? Es muy difícil porque el Liverpool tiene 5 delanteros de buen nivel. Tienen Salah, tienen también Fabio Carvalho, tienen Jota, Díaz, Núñez. Es muy difícil saber quién va a jugar. Para mí va a ser Díaz, Salah y Jota. Eso es mi predicción. Y creo que Firmino va a jugar en el fin de semana en contra Arsenal, pero también Jota le gusta jugar en contra el Arsenal, así que no se sabe lo que va a pensar Klopp, pero para mí va a jugar sí, Jota en vez de Firmino. Kane or Messi? I'd go for Messi. Would you recommend having both Davis and Upamecano? I mean, that's not bad, but I'd rather double up on their attack. Best goalkeeper for tomorrow? In my opinion, it's Neuer. Not Neuer, sorry, he's playing today. In my opinion, it's Lunin or Szczesny. Yeah, that is my top 2. All right, let's go back to the alternative squad. Remember, this is not my final team. And if you are looking to copy, my big advice for you is don't copy and just do things your own way, and you will do even better than I probably will. So, you know, I don't see why you would limit yourself. But yeah, let me just try to get this sorted. Okay, it's all done. But yeah, this is not my final team. Neuer or Lunin, I would go for Lunin. Sane or Mane, Sane or Musiala, I'd go for Sane, Pablo. Tsimikas or Lodi. There is no Lodi. There's Reynildo, who I'm guessing you're saying. I would go for Tsimikas. Sono and Nkuku, I would go for Nkuku right now. Alternatives for Morita. I'm not sure. I need to double check that. Yeah, I agree, Superstar. Hola, Dylan, capitán para hoy. Para mí es Sané, pero Lewandowski es una buena opción también. Y tienes a Musiala y Davis y otras opciones, pero para mí prefiero Sané. Okay, so yeah, Moritz, you want a 5 million midfielder? I mean, you're just looking at Kudus at 5.2, Kvaratskhelia or Anguissa at 5.6, and you've also got Florentino. So that's the answer to your question about Moritz replacements. Paulson Verratti, not a bad choice, I could say, in UCL Fantasy, but not the best. I think there are much better options. Šeško versus Jutla. I prefer Jutla, but I do recognize that Šeško has the better fixtures, should I say? No, Sergio, no es mi equipo final. Dembele and Akanji or Valverde and Cancelo. I would go for Valverde and Cancelo. Is Brandt good? Yes, he is, but I prefer Bellingham. Thoughts on Sporting Edwards? Decent choice, and I think he could do well this week, but I think there are, once again, better options like Musiala. Hey Dylan, I'm back. Benzema and Neymar or Mbappe and Lewandowski? I would go for Mbappe and Lewandowski, Sudindra. Yeah, thank you, Superstar. We've covered the lineups already, and I appreciate you and Rock and Roll for putting the links. It's much appreciated. Moises, there is one Juventus player in my team, but not in what you see right now. Welcome, Messi Monkey. Thanks for the answers. In the long term, Kvaratskhelia plus Neuer or Bellingham, Musiala plus Adam? In the long term, I would probably say Bellingham / Musiala and Adam, yes. I have 4 injuries. Should I use Wildcard? If you also have a few other problems or players that have bad fixtures and stuff like that, then yes, I would use the Wildcard. I'm going Lewandowski over Mbappe just because he plays today. Safer options. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's fair enough. You can go for him. But honestly, I'm still going to go for Mbappe because I'm happy with captaining Sane. So it's completely up to you, mate. 6.5 million or less midfielders for today. Kvaratskhelia, Anguissa would probably be 2 of the best ones, I'd say, and Kudus. Also, not Otamendi, please. He's a good choice still. I think he can still get you 4 points and above because of ball recoveries, Mohamed, but you could sell him to Guerrero, potentially. Or if you can stretch to it, maybe Upamecano. I think he's a better option. And Kuku's a good choice? Yes, he is, but I did get rid of him on the wild card. Lewandowski or Mbappe, I'd go for Mbappe. Who do you think replaces Emerson for Spurs in FPL? Well, Conte was kind of dissing everyone, really, you know, saying that Doherty isn't ready to start and Jed Spence as well. I think it'll be Doherty, but they also have the possibility of playing Sessegnon and then Perisic on the right, but Perisic hasn't been good recently, and he was awful, I think, against Leicester on the right-hand side. Lewandowski or Neymar? I'd go for Lewandowski. But it's really close between all these options. What time is the deadline? In literally 50 minutes, 51 minutes. So 5:45 p.m. UK time. Do you think Diaz will start? Yes, I think he will. Messi or Mbappe? I'd go for Mbappe. Thoughts on Barella versus Barca? Not really my favourite option. Thank you, Gerardo. Thank you, Henry. Musiala or Sane? I'd go for Sane. Will. Once again, Omar, I think he will. Try not to spam the question. Any Spurs player that you recommend? Probably Son or Kane, and to be honest, Son would be the preference because I don't want to waste a forward spot when you've got so many other choices, but look, they're both good choices, of course. Will Haaland start? I think so. Kostic or Alaba? Kostic. Danilo or Akanji? I would go for Akanji. Why no PSG? I will be going for PSG players, don't worry, and I think I'm only going for one. Mazzari or Davis? I would go for Davis. Reynildo and Oblak are good choices. They are decent choices, but Atletico Madrid haven't been that great this season, and I would actually be reluctant to go for one, let alone two, so don't double up in my opinion. If you back them for the clean sheet, go for it, but I am happy with one, and I'd probably say Reynildo. Who's on your bench? Oh, it's covered, isn't it? Don't worry. This is not my wildcard team, just to make that very clear. This is not my wildcard team. I'll probably show it later on, but yeah, like I said, rent mass copying. I don't want that happening. Thoughts on Grimaldo? I would probably sell him because he's facing PSG back-to-back, and I'd actually rather have Silva or Otamendi because of ball recoveries. Once again, Lewis, I would go for Mbappe. Do you think Bassi as a defender from Ajax is a good enabler? Yes, he is. And you've also got Silva from Benfica. Best keeper combination, in my opinion, it's either Lunin or Neuer for tomorrow's games. No, I got that wrong. It's either Lunin for tomorrow or Adan and Neuer for today. So hopefully you got that right. Basically, Lunin and either Neuer or Adan. Hopefully that is clear. I confused myself. Captain Sane or Musiala. I've been asked this question a lot. Back your gut. I'm going for Sane. No, it's not my final team. Like I said. ¿Qué opinas de Trincao? No es una mala opción, pero como dije antes, para mí hay mejores opciones, hasta incluso en el equipo de Sporting de Lisboa. And once again, people keep telling me it's not Sporting Lisbon or Sporting. Yeah, okay. Grubic start? Nope. Oblak will be starting. El mejor defensa de Liverpool para Limitless, para mí Arnold, Trent Alexander-Arnold, pero está en un muy mal momento ese pibe. Diaz or Akanji? Probably Diaz if you can stretch to it, but you might not be able to, I'm not sure. Who can I replace for Haaland? I mean, if you really want to get rid of him, it's at your own peril. I would probably replace him with Lewandowski, Messi, Mbappe, etc. I know it's not UCL Fantasy, but what you got for Prem Fantasy, if you check out my FPL reaction stream, you will see it. And I got Madison's 18 points on top of that. So I got 85 points, I believe. Musiala, Sane, Kudus, Diaz, what's your opinion for the midfield? I think it's a really solid midfield, and you can't get much better. Not fully convinced by Diaz, but good fixture. Best 5.5 million defender apart from Carvajal, Davis. And another one to throw at you is Kostic. I don't play FUT, I don't even have the new FIFA, and at the moment I'm happy not to get it. It's an awful franchise. Best defenders for the Limitless is covered in the video. The only change I would make is Hakimi out for Kostic. The rest is the same, so check out that video. Mizrahi, Szczesny, Perrin or Bonucci and Neuer. I don't think Perrin will start, mate, so it would be Szczesny. Yeah, I'd probably do Mizrahi and Szczesny. Foden or Dembele? I prefer Foden, but I'm not sure if he starts. Bellingham or Son? Bellingham. Marcus Edwards, Kudus or Dembele? Kudus. Vlahovic and Szczesny plus Kostic worth it? It's not a bad trio, but I'm not that convinced by Juventus to triple up. I think a double up is fine enough. And I would go for Kostic and Vlahovic maybe, but even then, you know, you're spending a forward slot on Vlahovic, and for me, I just can't really accept that. Yeah, I agree, Henry, I agree. Don't worry, rock and roll. He's cussing the right person, so I'm going to allow that comment. Let's see if I can allow it. I don't think I can now. Can I? No, I'm not sure. But yeah, Henry, I got your message. I agree. Zielinski or Dembele? Dembele, but yeah. Leroy Sané has scored 8 goals and made 7 assists in his last 12 Champions League games. Exactly. He's been fantastic. An incredible option. No, Matt, it's not my final team. Isn't Kudus injured? I believe he was on the bench over the weekend because, obviously, you know, he just came back from international break with Ghana, fatigue. Obviously, I haven't seen anything about him being injured or not, but I'm assuming he's fine. Vinicius or Nkunku? Vinicius. Meyer or Lunin? Lunin. Milik or Edwards? I'd actually go for Edwards, but I'm pretty sure... No, maybe Edwards. I think Edwards is a midfielder, by the way. I need to double check that. I might be wrong. Yeah, Messi. Yeah, I haven't been able to read all of them, but I've gone through most, which is not too bad. May or Lunin? Once again, mate, try not to spam the question. I would go for Lunin. Best nail midfielder other than Kvaratskhelia. Anguissa from Napoli is another one. James or Perisic? I'd go for James, but to be honest, he does have the tougher games. But I'd probably go for him. Kudus or alternative at 5.5. Florentino at 4.5. Davis or Carvajal? Davis. Dzeko or Orsic? I would go for Orsic. Leao good. I don't see a high ceiling against Chelsea, so I probably wouldn't. Will Alvarez start? I don't think so, but it's a possibility. Paulson McKennie? I think there are better options, so not for me. Is Darwin an option? But it could be... Yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry, your question, you're spamming it. I'm not going to answer it. Try not to spam the chat. Your questions will be answered. Just be patient and we'll go through it. Best 4.5 defender. Simicas, I think, for a 1 week punt. Thank you, DOS0, for becoming a differential. Remember, you can see what my team is right now So, you know, you can already have a perk immediately, and you get early access to my videos and all of that good stuff. But thank you very much for becoming a differential. I appreciate it. Walker to our start? No. It looks like he might be back in Matchday 4, or he could even be out for several weeks. We just don't know yet, but I think he is going to be out in Matchday 3. Good sporting players, Marcus Edwards, Adan in goal. Then you've got a few defenders. Let me check actually again, just in case. So I'm going to check their lineup just to make sure. Yeah, so Pedro Porro is out, which is a shame. Morita at 5 million isn't too bad, by the way, but not my favourite. So yeah, probably Adan. Pedro Gonçalves is pretty decent, and Edwards as well. So yeah, that would be kind of the main ones. So yeah. Will KDB start? I believe so. Carvajal or Kostic? Carvajal. Thank you, Golden Boys. I was literally just about to click the button. Thank you, Lager, as well. Salah captain, not for me, but look, there's nothing wrong with going for something different because you've got good captaincy options tomorrow in case it fails. Any Juve players you recommend? Kostic. And if you maybe want another one, consider Szczesny and Vlahovic. Those would be my top 3. Wildcard or Limitless? Team-dependent question, but I would go for the wildcard for most people. Should Kvaratskhelia be inserted in the Limitless squad? I wouldn't personally, but he is a good choice. I just think that, you know, he's a good budget option, but on a Limitless, you know, the fixture's quite tough, and you've got some really big hitters with good fixtures. Bergwijs, good option. Yes, he is, but I wouldn't go for him. KDB or Vinicius? KDB. Dembele alternative, Foden, but he might not start, so you're looking at maybe Bellingham or Musiala, as well as Sane, who's the obvious one. Do you think Mbappe will be rested? I don't think so. Adan or Neuer? For me, Adan. Both good, though. Neymar over Mbappe? Not for me, but you know, he's still a great choice. He's 10 million, fantastic value. Kudus or Kvaratskhelia? I'd go for Kudus, but you know, if there are any Ajax fans in the chat, by the way, I'd massively appreciate any updates on Kudus, because I've not been able to find anything, so I'd massively appreciate it. Is there a permanent 4 million goalkeeper without injuries? Not really. You've got Meyer, who's only starting because Kobal's injured, but he could be back this week. You've got Lunin, who will start as long as Courtois out, but no, I don't think so. Maybe McGregor, actually, but he's playing for Rangers. You know, he's playing up against Liverpool. So, yeah. Who would you captain for tomorrow, Haaland or Mbappe? Probably Haaland, Marco. Thank you, Pablo, for becoming a differential. Thank you very much for all the members today. And remember, we have hit 15,000 subscribers. So honestly, it's been a great day. Thank you very much to everyone for making that happen. And we are on 282 likes and we've got around 1,000 people watching. So thank you very much. And let's try to get this stream to over 400 likes. I think we can definitely do that. So keep on smashing the like button and subscribing if you are new for more UCL Fantasy content throughout the whole season. Now I'm going to go back to this. The alternative squad. We've got around 42 minutes left for the deadline. Best 7 million midfielder, Musiala for me. Neymar or Mbappe, good choice, but I wouldn't do it. Mbappe, Lewandowski or Benzema, last minute. Mbappe for me. KDB will re-rested. I mean, maybe he will. But I saw a stat, and I'm not sure if it's true, that he's never been rested in the Champions League since 2016. I need to double check that. Adan or Neuer, I would go for Adan because of value. Yes, I'm wildcarding. Thank you, Rock and Roll, for being a channel member for over a year, 13 months. All right, so my small dilemma is switching out Kimmich and Coates for Musiala and either Dedic or getting rid of a Chelsea defender for 2 4.5 million defenders. I would go for the first option with Musiala, but who is that second option? Dedic. I need to double check that. I'm not sure if I'm missing something or if it's a typo. No, maybe it's not a typo. Is it Dedic from the 4 million defender? Let me know, but I would go for Musiala. I think it's worth it. I know the squad-wise, you would argue it's the 2 4.5 million options, but I would go for Musiala personally. Yeah, I think it's the 4 million defender. Yeah, Esteban, thank you for that. What do you think between Bellingham and Valverde? Both solid options, but I would rather go for Bellingham. That is my personal preference, but both are fine, to be fair. They're both fine. Salzburg, yeah, fair enough. I would go for that option, personally. I would go for Musiala. Musiala, Mane or Gnabry? Musiala, for me, Arsenal comps. Is Jukla still in, or is there a better option? You've got Šeško at around 6 million, but I think he's the best option, personally. And Šeško is 0.5 million more. Okay. Thank you for the hate comment, but you're banned. Thank you very much. Lewandowski or Mbappe? Mbappe. Adam or Neuer? I'm personally going for Adam, but they're both good options. Murdic alternative? Valverde. If not, Kvaratskhelia and Anguissa. Is Milik not a good option then? I saw some comments about him being injured potentially and not starting today. I'm not sure how much weight there is to those claims, but honestly, I think there are better choices elsewhere. Lewandowski and Mbappe, I mean, I'm going to answer this for the final time. I might even pin it, but Mbappe for me is my preference over Lewandowski. I'm going to try to go through some different questions. Centre back for today, Matchday on the 6 million. So for today, if we look at the games today, I would probably say Davis. Yeah, he would be the standout. Yeah, Davis is the one. Jutla or Juventus forward? I'd go for Jutla. On a limitless, no, but for normal circumstances, yes. Yeah, it's Brandon. It's because some people want me to show the team and I'm not doing it. And, the more people do that, the less likely I'm going to show my team. So honestly, I am probably not going to show it at this point. Use wildcard or limitless. Team dependent, but I would go for the wildcard. Yeah, any questions that are spam, by the way, I'm not going to answer. So be sure to put your question once. If I don't answer it after a long period of time, like 5 or 10 minutes, then fair enough, put it again. But don't put it in quick succession. Otherwise, I'm not going to go through it. I'm sorry. What should my front three be limitless, assuming Haaland is benched? It'd probably be Lewandowski, Mbappe, and I'd probably maybe look at Vlahovic then as a result. Or you could go for a second PSG forward. But in that case, I would be inclined. And to be honest, actually, we can't forget the big man Benzema. So Benzema, Lewandowski, Mbappe, front three. If you are feeling it, Vlahovic is also a good alternative. Kvaratskhelia or Kudus? Kudus for me. A defender playing around 4.9 million. It's a good question. Probably Guerrero is a good one. Thank you, Rob Stars United, for signing up. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jasabi. I disagree. I'm not, but I appreciate your kind words. Who to pair with Adam Lunin, who plays tomorrow? Another one is Szczesny, if you have the money, by the way. Salah or Son? Salah. Why is everyone forgetting about Salah? Because he's not been as good this season, really. And you've got so many options that are overshadowing him. Rank the 3 PSG forwards. Mbappe, Messi, and Neymar, based on current form. I think Messi is the best overall, but in terms of goals, UCL Fantasy, I think Mbappe is the best one. Mejor línea defensiva con sin limitless. Yo diría algo como esto. Alphonso Davies, Tsimikas, Joao Cancelo, Carvajal y Kostic, algo así. Y si no puedes alcanzar a alguien como Davis, puedes ir por alguien como Upamecano o Guerrero. Así que ahí está tu línea defensiva. Go Limitless. Yeah, I think Limitless could be really strong this week. Tsimikas or Otamendi? I would go for Tsimikas, but remember, he is a short-term solution, but I do have him. Best Juventus option for the wildcard 2 game weeks? I'd say Kostic and either Szczesny or Vlahovic, but Kostic is the main one. Firmino or Vlahovic? Vlahovic. Hey Dylan, Tsimikas or Guerrero? Tsimikas. Nuno Tavares a no-brainer at 4 million? Not necessarily. Marseille have been looking pretty poor, and I think they won't. I think they will actually probably lose the game against Sporting and probably concede a few goals, like 2 or 3. So not for me. He's 4 million, of course. You can't complain. Is Sergio Gomez a good defense pick for City tomorrow? Yes, he is. I'm not going for him at the moment because I already have triple City, but yes. Šeško or Jutla? I'm going for Jutla. Why no Vinicius Jr.? I mean, I'd love to have him, but I'm actually going for other options instead, like Sane and De Bruyne. Please tweet tomorrow about City lineup news. Okay, I'll try to make note of that. Maybe retweet it or make a comment on my own. Wasn't here for it, but who's the Murdic guy? He's actually been linked a lot to Arsenal, and he's been playing for Shakhtar Donetsk. He's been impressive in the Champions League so far this season, and he's a really, really good player. Bellingham or Son? Bellingham. Hey Dylan, if I only use 1 or 2 of my free transfers this week, I will have 3 available next week. That's a good question. I do believe that 1 does stack up and you can have up to 3. That's what was the case in previous seasons, but you can't have more than 3. If I am wrong about that, then someone correct me in the comments, but that's what was the case in recent seasons. Thank you, Ori. We hit 15k before the stream even started, so the party's been going on all day, you could say, but thank you. Kostic or Carvajal? I would go for Carvajal. I prefer him long-term. Where do you see the lineups? Well, Sane is starting, just so you know, but you can see the lineups on Twitter, on their pages, Bayern Munich, or you can check the UEFA website. I'm not sure if I have a link available. I'm going to check this quickly. So, yeah, I'm just putting the lineups really, really quickly for you. And here you go. So, yeah, for those of you that want to see the lineups, I just put them in the live chat. Be sure to check it out. And, yeah, we're going to be closing that. We've got everything we need now. And here we go. Will Haaland be rested? I don't think so, but it is a possibility. I do recognise that. Do you think Kudus will start? I believe so. Like I said, you know, he's been scoring in every single game he started. He just came back from international duty with Ghana. You know, long travel fatigue. Maybe he was just rested for the Champions League. That is my assumption. I'm going to go for him. Who are your favourite defenders? Like I said to someone earlier in Spanish, I would probably say Kostic, Alphonso Davies, Upamecano, Joao Cancelo, and the other two, if I can get them up. Yeah, Tsimikas and Carvajal. I think I said someone twice, but yeah, either way, that would be my ideal defence if you can. Messi, great choice. He's been in fantastic form. Yeah, Courtois is injured. Is this your wildcard team? No. Thoughts on Diaz? Good choice, but I think there are better options, especially around the same price. You reckon Emerson Real is a good pick because he received a red card this weekend, but maybe he's going to be in Antonio Conte's bad books. That's the thing, but maybe. Vinicius and Verratti or Luis Diaz and Valverde? Diaz and Valverde. I'm just not a big fan of Verratti. Carvajal or Kostic? I'd go for Carvajal. Thoughts on Simikan? Decent choice. If you want someone from Leipzig defence, I'd go for him, but I think there are better choices elsewhere. Who do you got instead of Kimmich and Hernandez? Musiala and Upamecano. Best 6 million midfielders: Anguissa, Kvaratskhelia, and you've got a few others, such as Fiorentina, but those are my two favourites, and you can't forget Kudus from Ajax. Best 6 million and under forward, for me it's Jukla, and you've also got Šeško. Do you think Akanji will start? I think so, yes, but some lineups I think don't have him in the predicted starting 11. Top 3 Bayern players, for me it's Davis, Musiala and Sane. Šeško or Jukla? Once again, I'd go for Jukla. Reinildo or Nuno Tavares? Nuno enables Kostic for me. Fair enough. In that case, but I'm not sure what the other situation would be. So if you had... yeah, so if you had Reinildo, who would be your alternative? What would be your other defender? So, you know, if you tell me that, I can then give you a concrete answer. Once again, Sergio, I think he will start. Don't hold me to it. I am using the wildcard this week. Yes, I do look in the Discord chat when I can. Yes, I do. Will Sergio Gomez start? I believe so, but I'm not that confident. The thing that maybe tilts it in his favour is that Walker's injured. Sterling or Dembele? Probably Dembele. I do show my team, but most likely after the lineup, because like I said, a lot of people just watch to copy, and I'm trying to prevent that. Mignolet worth that second goalkeeper spot? He's not a bad option. I mean, he's got 2 clean sheets. He's one of the highest scoring goalkeepers this season, but I would rather go for Adam and Lunin. Mane or Son for the limitless? Mane, but I do prefer Musiala and Sane instead of Mane. Tsimikas best 4.5 million defender? I believe so, but only for one match day. I think Robertson will be back for match day 4. Best 5 mids for the wild card? I'd probably say one of De Bruyne or Vinicius Jr., Leroy Sane, Musiala. If not, you can go for Bellingham. And the others would be Kvaratskhelia or Anguissa. And the other is, if I can just get it up, yeah, Kudus from Ajax. So something like that would put you in a really good position, I think. Yeah, Liam, that's what I'm looking to do at the moment. Lunin for wildcard, yes, good choice. Just remember that Courtois, when he comes back, obviously he will start. Sane or Davis captain? I'd go for Sane. Best midfield for you? Yeah, I just said it right now. Thank you, Another, for becoming a differential. I appreciate it. Carvajal or Alaba? Carvajal. Yeah, I think that's an easy one. I just had to think about it for a moment. Vinicius or Sane? Sane. Tsimikas or Matip? I go for Tsimikas. Sane or Davis? Once again, Sean, try not to repeat the question. I would go for Sane. Son or Nkuku? I would go for Nkuku right now. Musiala or Sane captain? Sane. Keep Courtois in the wildcard? No, he's not going to play this week. Porque todos se olvidaron de Joao Mario. Es una buena opción, pero está jugando en contra Paris Saint-Germain. Y hay mejores opciones como Kvaratskhelia, Kudus, y también tienes a Anguissa. Así que hay diferentes opciones. También tienes a Valverde, Bellingham, Musiala. Así que puedo entender por qué están haciendo eso. Best goalkeeper duo, no Neuer. For me, it's Lunin and Adan. Best cheap defenders on the 4.5 million other than Tsimikas. I would say Silva is one of my favourites at 4.1. He can get ball recovery points, so it's no issue that he's facing PSG in my opinion. Nkuku is a good option, Jose. Would it not be worth keeping Courtois and Adan to save a transfer next week? But Courtois might not be back next week, that's the issue. I'm just saying there is a possibility, but we don't know the extent of his injury yet. Will Foden start? I'm actually inclined to say no, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong about that. Dzeko, a good pick today. He is facing Barcelona. I mean, he's not a bad pick, but I wouldn't go for him. Matip, best defender, around 5 million. If he starts, then yes, but I'm not sure if he does. I would probably say Upamecano is the best one. Cheap midfielders, Anguissa, Kvaratskhelia, Kudus. Benzema, Lewandowski. I mean, for this match day, sorry, you could arguably say Benzema, but still Lewandowski for me. I do have a PSG player. Are there any UCL Fantasy planners like with FPL? No, I don't think so, Marco. But I think at some point, when the game gets more popular, it could happen. Is Emerson Royal playing? I don't know. I mean, you would say maybe, you know, he's not going to play in the weekend, so he could start now and then they can play Doherty. But, I mean, maybe he's going to be in Antonio Conte's bad books, so we just don't know. Bergwijn or Kudus? Kudus for me. Best 5 million defender, I'd say Upamecano. If you can't afford him, then you could look at someone like Guerreiro instead. Is Gribic starting? No, I don't think so. Hakimi or Carvajal? Carvajal. Davis or Upamecano? If you can afford it, I'd say Davis. Thank you, Mark, for becoming a differential as well. I appreciate it. How do you find out about price rises, Dylan? In UCL Fantasy, there's no way of knowing. The prices happen as soon as the deadline passes. So basically, in 40 minutes' time, you will see the price rises, and it starts in Matchday 2, basically. Tsimikas or Reinildo, I would go for Tsimikas. Davis or Upamecano, once again, I'd go for Davis if you can. Is Verratti good to have? Not in my opinion. Tsimikas or Guerreiro, Tsimikas. Will Son return with a haul? I think he might get a goal or something, but I don't see a high ceiling. Or should I change him into Bellingham, Pedro Goncalves? If this is for one match day only, I would go for Son, but in the long term, I would rather go for the other two, especially Bellingham. Lunin or Meyer, I would go for Lunin because Kobel could be back for Dortmund this week, so I'd rather go for him. And also, Real Madrid are a much better team than Dortmund. Is Alexander-Arnold a good pick? Yes, but I wouldn't go for him in a normal team, only on the limitless. Vlahovic, Okafor, and Kudus, or a Napoli midfielder, Bellingham, and a cheap striker. Good question. I would probably go for Napoli midfielder, Bellingham, and cheap striker if it's Jukla or someone like that. Would Tsimikas start? Yes. Obviously, Robertson is going to be back fairly soon, maybe even this week. I think he'll be available for Arsenal, but I'm not sure about midweek. So I think Tsimikas is worth a punt. Okay, so we are literally, 27 minutes away from the deadline. And I am going to be locking in my final team. But yeah, everyone that I have from Bayern Munich is starting and also Sporting Lisbon today. And just making sure my bench is all sorted. And I think it is, yes. And Leroy Sane is my captain for today. Kostic and Upamecano or Cuadrado and Davis, wildcard. I would go for Kostic and Upamecano. Kane instead of Haaland, not for me, but he's a good choice. Anguissa or Kudus, I would go for Kudus. And by the way, if I'm pronouncing it wrong, let me know, because I believe I am. I am using the wildcard, Henry, yes. Verratti good, like I said before, mate. I don't think so. Akanji or Tsimikas for this week. Haaland, captain, or Mbappe? That's for tomorrow anyway, so don't worry about it too much, but I would say Haaland. Upamecano or Davis, if you can afford it, Davis. We're kind of getting a lot of repeat questions here, so I'm going to try go for some different ones. Musiala or Bellingham? Musiala for me. Start Nuno Tavares. I mean, start anyone who's starting today, basically. Anyone who plays today, start them. And have players on your bench who play tomorrow, and then you can make substitutions. Be sure to check out my how to play UCL Fantasy guide, and it covers everything you need to know. I support Arsenal, Argentina, and Rosario Central. That is my trio of teams. Lewandowski and Mbappe. I mean, yeah, we've been asked that a lot today. Once again, for the final time, Mbappe. They're both good. You can't go wrong. Salah or Vinicius? Vinicius. No defender for Juventus? Yes, there is, but like I said, this is not my team. Thank you, Rupstars United, for becoming a differential. I think it was the other day, if I'm not mistaken, but I appreciate it. Or Musiala and Foden start. I think Musiala is starting. You know, it's already confirmed. Foden, I'm not sure. I don't think he will. Aaron, you've asked that question a lot of times, and I literally just gave you the answer. It's not my team. So, yeah. Yeah, we've got... I haven't even seen. I mean, you can tell by the chat, but I haven't been keeping too many tabs on it. Yeah, we've got 1,100 viewers. So the next goal we have is to get to over 500 likes. So let's keep on smashing the like button and subscribing if you're new. I think we can do that. And in terms of subscribers, we reached 15,000 before the stream even started. Let's try to get to 16,000. We're going to keep on pushing. 20,000 is the next big target, so to speak. And we've already gained, I think, what, over 100, 200 in today's stream and also throughout the whole day. So let's try to keep making progress. I think we can keep on going. But yeah, 500 likes is the next one. Thank you, Clutch Kitty Gaming, and everyone else who liked the video. When do you get a button from YouTube? A button, I think, for 100,000, so a long way to go. Best 5.5 million midfielder. I mean, you're kind of limited. I'd probably say Kudus. Yeah. Thoughts on Højbjerg? I think he's a decent choice, but you've got Kudus, you've got Florentino, and a few others who will probably outscore him. Yeah, he's not my favourite. I started with him. He got me 8 points. But yeah, I think the time is probably to get rid of him. Thank you, Abdel. Why Šeško and not Jukla? I actually prefer Jukla. Like I said, what you see on screen is just alternative picks. This is not my final wildcard team. Best for OKT defenders, not from Bayern. Not from Bayern. I'd say Kostic. Yeah, Kostic, Cancelo. Not from Bayern. Tsimikas and Trent Alexander-Arnold, you could say, but no, I wouldn't double up on Liverpool defence. So the other one would be, as a result, yeah, Carvajal. There you go. That's 4 of them. Nunez or Firmino, I think it will be Jota or Nunez starting, and Firmino starts at the weekend, but yeah. Best 9.5 million forward, for me it's Vlahovic. Musiala, Bellingham, we've been asked this a lot today, but I'll try to go for it again. Musiala, both good. No, it's not my final team. Like I said, I probably will be showing it at the end of the stream, or should I say at least after the deadline. Best striker to own for the wildcard. For me, it's Haaland and Mbappe. They are 2 of the best ones. Best 4.1 million or under defender, I would go for Silva. Which goalkeepers to go for? I mean, you've got plenty of choices, but I would say Lunin from Real Madrid and Adan or Neuer. That would be my preference. Kvaratskhelia, yes, good choice. I prefer Kudus slightly. Best second Man City defender, I would say Ruben Dias or Akanji. But Gomez is so cheap, he's also a good choice. Jukla or Šeško? Jukla. Richarlison start. If Kulusevski is out, then yes. We don't know how long his injury is going to be. Thoughts on Bayern triple up? I would recommend it. I talked about this in all the streams recently. Juve #1 goalkeeper still injured. Szczesny started at the weekend, mate. And I think he'll start again in Matchday 3. Thank you for the super chat. Will Cancelo play? Yes, I believe so. Defender within 5 million. Upamecano, if you can't stretch to that, then I would probably say Guerreiro. Double Bayern attack or defense? I'd go for the attack. Musiala or Mane? Musiala. Is Fabinho a good option? Yes, but there's much better choices like Valverde, Kvaratskhelia, Anguissa, Kudus, etc. Eric Garcia, good pick, or maybe benched. I wouldn't go for him personally. Reinildo, good. He's a decent choice, but once again, I'm not that convinced about Atletico Madrid defensively. Thank you, Esteban, for becoming a differential. I appreciate it. What about Werner? Not for me, superstar. Foden plus Bellingham or Kvaratskhelia and Kevin De Bruyne? Probably Kvaratskhelia and De Bruyne. And look, I think Foden and Bellingham is a better duo, but the reason I say it is because I'm not sure if Foden starts. And look, I could be completely wrong about this, and they're both fantastic. Back your gut and you'll do a good job. Orsic or Pekovic? Probably Orsic, but they're both good. Likovic or Lunin? Lunin. Valverde or Bellingham? Bellingham. Will Haaland and KDB play? I personally think so. I could be wrong. How long is Courtois out for? We don't know, but he could be out indefinitely. That was the report, so it could be several weeks. We just don't know. KDB or Foden? I would go for KDB personally, if you can. Tchouaméni or Bentancur? Probably Tchouaméni, but honestly, I mean, I would rather go to Kudus. I hate to say it. Kvaratskhelia, Anguissa, and a few others like Valverde instead, if you can. Neymar Concalves or Messi Edwards? Messi Edwards, personally. Vlahovic worth it? Yes, he is worth it, but I do prefer Benzema, Lewandowski, Messi, and a few others like Mbappe and Haaland. Diaz playing? Yes, I think he will start. Yeah. Kudus or Musiala? Musiala. Mbappe or Messi? Mbappe. Dembele, good pick? Yes, but I do prefer others. KDB and 4.5 million forward or Bellingham and Šeško? For your squad, I think Bellingham and Šeško is the right choice, but yeah. Why do I not show the team? It's because of copiers, really. There's a lot of people who are just waiting to see what I'm doing and then copy. And just to prevent that, I am doing it. That's the only reason, really. Is Kudus injured? Literally, I have no idea what his situation is. My opinion of it is that he was kind of rested for the Champions League. He just came back from Ghana during the international break. You know, long travel fatigue. But honestly, I have no idea. I haven't seen any updates from Ajax fans or any outlets. So, no idea. Reinildo or Eric Garcia, I would go for Reinildo. Bellingham or Kvaratskhelia. If you can afford it, I would go for Bellingham. Best 4.5 million defender long term. I'll have a look into that. So we've got 90 minutes left, by the way, before the deadline. So be sure to lock in your teams and make sure you're all sorted. 4.5 million defender long term. I think we went through this as well earlier. It probably has to be Silva. Reinildo's another one. Yeah, I think he's a decent choice. So yeah, Reinildo or Antonio Silva from Benfica would be my 2 cents on the matter. Thank you for the super chat, Kashba. Kostic, Carvajal, Davis, and Cancelo. Who's for the 5th? I'm not sure what budget you have to operate with, and I've actually got, you know, a very similar defense to you. The other defender I would go for is Tsimikas, I think, at 4.5 million if you can. He's a good choice for this match day only, or you could go for Sergio Gomez if you don't have a triple up in Manchester City defense, or shall I say in their team already. So yeah, that would be my answer. Otamendi or Guerrero? I think I'd go for Guerrero now, but Otamendi is more of a reliable option with 4 pointers and above. Is Neuer a good choice? Yes, he is. Musiala or Valverde? Musiala. Tsimikas or Matip? I would go for Tsimikas just because I'm a bit more confident about him starting. Welcome, Mikolas. Nkuku, good choice, but I got rid of him on a wild card. Bellingham or Musiala? Musiala. Also, Reinildo, probably one of the best options at his price and below, but I'm not a big fan of Atletico Madrid defensively. Neymar or Messi? I'd go for Messi right now, but both good. Musiala or Bellingham? Yeah, I just answered that. Kostic or Ramos? Kostic. 6 million defender who plays today. Davis. Kudus or Musiala in my team. Here we go. Yeah, looks good. Kudus or Kvaratskhelia? I'd go for Kudus. Is it okay to have both Sane and Musiala? Yes, I think it's a really good choice, if anything. Anguissa, Kvaratskhelia plus Mancano, or Nuno Mendes. Yeah, I would go for the first trio Rex. Jota of Celtic, not a bad shout, but once again, I just have different preferences in that position. Still worth getting Lewandowski in the group stage? Of course, it always is. It's just he faces Bayern in matchday 5, and he's got a relatively tough doubleheader in matchdays 3 and 4. Politano or Kvaratskhelia? Kvaratskhelia. Is all such a good pick? Yes. Yes, I will read it. I will show my team, but after the deadline, yeah. Salah or Gnabry? Salah. Davis plus Neymar / Upamecano Messi. I would go for Upamecano Messi, but honestly, I mean, there's literally nothing to separate the two duos. They're both fantastic. Akanji, good option, yes, but there is a chance he's benched with Diaz returning. Messi or Lewandowski? Lewandowski. Is Trent worth it? On a limitless, yes, but not with normal transfers or a wild card. Is Reinildo good? He's a decent choice, but not my favourite. At his price and below, you can't get much better, basically. How about Benzema? Yeah, if I were going for 3 premium forwards, I would probably go for Lewandowski. But if not, if he was injured or something, I'd go for Benzema, yes. Yeah, Laporte return as well. Yeah, he was on the bench the other day against United. Jude or Valverde? I'd go for Jude. Edwards or Bellingham? Bellingham. Florentina plus Valverde or Kudus and Kvaratskhelia? I'd go for Kudus and Kvaratskhelia. Is it okay to have both Sane and Musiala? You asked this question already, mate. I think it is okay. It's up to you. No PSG. I do have it. This is not my team. Cancelo, Davis, Carvajal, Gomez. Which defender to get other from City, Bayern, Juventus, Real? Yeah, I'd go for Tsimikas. Let's see if I think I missed something else. Cancelo and Musiala or Tsimikas and Sane? Cancelo, Musiala, superstar. Both good options though. Not much to separate them. Thoughts on the midfield? Sane, KDB, Bellingham, Kudus, Florentino. Fantastic mark. I have no problems with it. Yeah, I think Benzema might be being a bit overlooked, but he hasn't been that good this season, even when he was fit. Now he's back. I do prefer Vinicius Jr., but he is a good choice, of course. Top 3 players from Bayern: Sane, Musiala, and Davis in that order. Yes, I'm using the wildcard. Is Jukla in your team? Yes, he is. Jukla plus Diaz or Vlahovic and Kudus? Vlahovic and Kudus. But it really depends, because if with Vlahovic and Kudus you're not able to afford 2 premium forwards, then I would go for the other duo instead. Will Nunez start? I think it could actually be Jota instead, so honestly I have no idea about that. Guerreiro or Tsimikas? I'd go for Tsimikas. Do you think Vlahovic is a good option? Yes, but I do prefer Benzema, and then Lewandowski, Mbappe, Messi, and Haaland. Diaz or Nkunku? I would go for Nkunku. 5 million goalkeeper. I've got a few for you. Adan, Lunin, and even Meyer, but I mainly look at the first 2. Is Milik a good option? Yes, assuming he's fit, but I do prefer Vlahovic. KDB or Vinicius? I would go for KDB. Akanji or Carvajal? Carvajal. Best forward under 5.7? Jukla. Musiala for Son or Salah? For Son. Should I use all my budget? I mean, if it improves your team, then yes. Murdic against Madrid, he's not in my team, don't worry. It's just a different player that I haven't talked about enough in UCL Fantasy this year, just to put him in the limelight, you could say. This is not my final team. Kvaratskhelia or Tchouameni? Kvaratskhelia. You have Upamecano or Davis? Because I can't afford him, I've gone for Upamecano, but I think he's the better option in terms of ball recoveries, but Davis has the attacking potential, of course. Musiala or Bellingham? Musiala. Ruben Diaz or Carvajal? Carvajal. Best 5 defenders long term. At this moment in time, I would probably say Upamecano or Davis, one of those 2. Cancelo, Carvajal, Kostic, Simic. Well, he's not a long-term option, so I'm going to refrain from that. Guerreiro. And the other one is, if I can remember what I have. No, I think I said all of it. Yeah, no, I said all of it. It's okay to have both Musiala and Sane. Yes, mate, it is. Alvarez, I don't think he starts, but there is a chance, of course. 5 million defender. I would probably say either Reinildo, Guerreiro, or Otamendi. Neymar, Musiala, or Salah and Jukla? Neymar, Musiala. As a Napoli fan, I think Kvaratskhelia doesn't have a high ceiling this match day. Yeah, no, that is possible. Look, I think I predicted a 2-2 draw between Napoli and Ajax. I think it's a tough game, but he's a good budget option. That's why you really have him. And to be honest, I actually might make a change, and I hate making late changes, and I might get rid of Kvaratskhelia for Anguissa, just because Kvaratskhelia doesn't get the ball recoveries like his fellow midfielder. So that is something I'm looking at. And also Anguissa is, really under the radar. He's 3% owned. I know Kvaratskhelia is also, a differential, so to speak, with 8% ownership, but yeah. And Kvaratskhelia, by the way, is 5.5. I thought it was a bit more. Zambo Anguissa is actually slightly more expensive, which is, I'd say, a bit surprising. Yeah, it's just Kvaratskhelia did score at the weekend as well. It's a tough one. I think it's really tough separating Anguissa and Kvaratskhelia. So let's actually put this in the chat. So which midfielder do you prefer? We haven't actually put any. Let's see. Can I even pronounce this guy's name or spell it right? Well, I will. Just give me a second. So. All right, here we go. Yeah, it's just my laptop is freezing a little bit, I think. All right, there we go. Or Anguissa. All right, so yeah, I think that's all right. Mane or Musiala? I'd go for Musiala. I'm not sure about both though. Not sure about having both. Both Napoli midfielders. I've gone for Kudus as well. I'm not sure what his injury situation is as well. I'm trying to see anything on Twitter if there's anything, but yeah, don't see anything, unfortunately. No, absolutely nothing about Kudus. I'm going to check Twitter very quickly, by the way, so bear with me for a second. We've got 10 minutes for the deadline, so be sure to lock in your teams. Yeah, there's nothing about Kudus being injured. So, yeah, I think it's all about just being rested after, the international break and a really important game against Napoli, because this could determine first position. So, yeah. I saw something from GhanaSoccerNet.com that says Ghana midfielder Mohamed Kudus set to return to Ajax starting lineup ahead of Napoli clash. Not sure, but yeah, I'm going for him. So in the poll, Kvaratskhelia is winning by a landslide. That is impressive. I don't think it's that much of a one-sided contest. Florentino Neuer or Anguissa and Lunin? I would go for Anguissa and Lunin. But, I mean, to be honest, they're both great duos, Mark. You can't go wrong with any of them. Thoughts on Morita from Sporting? I mean, he's a decent budget midfielder, sorry, but I would rather go for Florentino or Kudus or those Napoli midfielders. Lewandowski or Benzema? Lewandowski long-term. I mean, it's a tough one, and Benzema, is a great choice as well. Bonucci, I'd rather go for Kostic. Front three, Jukla, Lewandowski, Mbappe, thoughts? Looks great to me. I've got something very similar. Thoughts on Lunin? One of the best goalkeepers on the wildcard, and if Courtois is out for the rest of the group stages, you've got an absolute bargain. From my end, I couldn't select Anguissa on the poll, just kept moving. Might be why it was one-sided. Fair enough. I mean, I had a little glitch where it just literally, I couldn't actually write, unfortunately. Lewandowski or Salah as captain? Lewandowski. Brobbey or Šeško? Šeško. I don't think Brobbey starts. Meyer or Reinildo? Reinildo. Salah or Bellingham? Long time I'd rather have Bellingham. Hola Dylan, recomendación del mejor mediocampista por 9.3 millones. Sane y Musiala, sin dudas, pero también tienes a Bellingham, que es una buena opción, y Foden si empieza el partido, pero para mí tiene que ser Sane y Musiala. Arnold or Tsimikas? Tsimikas. Salah or Bellingham? I just answered that. Carvajal, Guerrero or Kostic for Limitless? On the Limitless, I'd say Kostic. Aubameyang or Giroud? Aubameyang, but pretty close one, actually. Dzeko or Lautaro Martinez? Lautaro Martinez. Florentino and Valverde or Kvaratskhelia and Gravenberch? Probably Florentino and Valverde. Not too sure about Gravenberch as an option. Is it your Limitless team? No, I used it in Matchday 2, and what you see now is well, it's not my wildcard team, it's some of my wildcard team. Which club do you think will snatch up Bellingham? Good question. I think one of City or Liverpool are in a good position, and then you could see maybe someone like Madrid or Barca, but I'd probably say that. Don't discount Bayern, they love to weaken their rivals in their league, but yeah, I'd probably say Liverpool or City. Šeško or Jukla, I'd go for Jukla. Orsic or Leao, I'd go for Orsic. Guerrero or Van Dijk, I would go for Guerrero. Lewandowski or Mbappe. Sterling or Diaz, I would go for Sterling. Best 7.4 million forward, you're probably looking at Orsic, I think it is. If he's already a bit over that price, fair enough, then I would just say Jukla. Is name on your final team? No, he isn't. ¿Ese es tu equipo definitivo? No, no lo es. Orsic or Jukla? Jukla. Best 7 million midfielder? Musiala. Guerrero or Otamendi? Guerrero. Neymar, Okiadima and Musiala or Salah, Kudus and Jukla? I'd go for the first trio. KDB or Neymar? KDB. Saludos también a vos de Colombia. Lorenzo. Is Milik a good choice? If he's fit and he starts, then yes, but I would rather go somewhere else. Why no PSG players? It's not my team. KDB or Bellingham? KDB, if you can afford it. Haaland will play tomorrow. I believe so. Is Di Lorenzo good? Yes, he is, but I don't like Napoli that much defensively. Otamendi or Davis? Davis. Best captain for tonight? I think Sane. If not, you've got Musiala and Lewandowski. Thank you. I'll call you Will. It is my team, Toby. It's just I'm in the transfer section and I've shown some kind of different picks for certain positions. I'm not going to be anyone's dad, mate. No, don't you worry about that. What do you think about Alexis as an option? I mean, he had a good start to his Marseille career, but I wouldn't go for him. I think Sporting Lisbon could keep a clean sheet, actually. Musiala or Sane? I mean, Musiala is 2 million cheaper, but I would still go for Sane. Best 4.5 million and 5 million keeper for tomorrow. Lunin, who's 4 million for me, would be my bet. I mean, the rest I'm not too sure about. Do you think Sane will score more points than Mane? Yes. Mane hasn't been scoring too many goals for Bayern Munich. Sane is just so consistent in the Champions League. I'd probably just go for him, to be honest, and I think he's a better option. Same with Musiala. So we've got 5 minutes left for the deadline. Be sure to lock in your teams. This is Last Chance Saloon, and I'll be showing you my team probably with like a minute to go or something like that, just to prevent copying. But yeah, that is it. We have got now 4 minutes, so the clock is ticking, and I'm actually fairly happy with my squad. There's not much I would change, you know, with the exception of maybe getting Davis in the defense and a few other things like that. But I have to say, I'm really, really happy with this team. Make sure, just for anyone that doesn't know, anyone on your bench, make sure no one on the 4th of October, aka today, is on your bench. Make sure everyone who's playing today is in your starting 11, and then you can make substitutions and captain someone who's playing today. I would recommend someone like Sane, Musiala, or Lewandowski for your captain. So just remember that. It's really, really important. And you've also got Salah as well for the captaincy. You can never rule him out. Why Akanji? He's a good choice. I think so. I'm not sure if he's actually going to start, but, he was really good for Dortmund in terms of ball recoveries. Let's wait and see what happens. Kvaratskhelia or Šeško? Kvaratskhelia. By the way, let's end this poll. It's kind of an overwhelming victory. We'll put another poll out for some kind of other really popular questions that were asked. Which forward do you prefer? And this will be Mbappe, Lewandowski. We'll put a few others. We'll put Messi in there as well. It's good to see him as an option once again. And we'll put Benzema. Davis in. I mean, I can't afford it. That's the thing. I can't afford it. Yeah. Happy birthday, Tendi Tem, I think it is. Is Lewandowski in your team? No, he isn't. No, he isn't. Kudus or Kvaratskhelia? Kudus. Where's Haaland in the poll? He's in another level, mate. That's why he's not in the poll. And actually, I can't put, I can't put 5. Maybe I could have put him in for Messi, but whatever. It's done. Sane or Doski cap? I'd go for Sane, but it's up to you. KDB or Vinicius? I'd go for KDB. Mane or Musiala? Musiala. I'd go for Mbappe. So yeah, a lot of these questions we've kind of already answered. Abraham puts his team. What do you think? It looks good, but Perrin's not going to start. I think it's going to be Szczesny. And look, just go for Lunin. He's going to be playing tomorrow in place of Courtois. So I would change that if you can. The rest looks fantastic, mate. So yeah, that would be my 2 cents on it. Amir puts his super chat. Thank you very much. Is it too much to go for Vlahovic and Kostic? I think Kostic is fine enough, but Vlahovic is a good choice as well for the double header. Or should I just go for Akanji instead of Kostic? I'd go for Kostic personally, because Akanji might not even start, to be honest. My other defenders is Davis, Carvajal, Cancel, and Tsimikas. Looks really good. I'd go for Kostic personally. Come on, Limitless Squad. Here we go. Good luck, Shakalaka. I wish you all the best, and same with everyone else watching. Vlahovic or Jukla? If money is no issue, I'd go for Vlahovic. Best 9 million mid, Sane. Another one that I would recommend is Musiala. I really back Bayern Munich today. And by the way, we have now got less than a minute left for the deadline. So in a second, I'm going to put up my team so you can see what I've got. And yeah, I'm just debating anything in my head. Is there anything I regret? Is there anything that I could regret? I mean, to be honest, I think I'm going to stick with this. I can see Davis getting a big haul, by the way, but I'm happy with this. I have to say I'm very, very happy with the squad. Yep, I think that's all done. So we've now got 30 seconds, and yeah, we are in about a few seconds. I will bring my team up, but yeah, be sure to have everything set up. Literally, you can't make any changes after the deadline. Substitutions and all of that is really, really important. So yeah, here we go. So this is my team. If we can get up, this is it. Yeah, this is my wildcard squad. And I've got Jukla, Haaland and Mbappe up front. And I talked about this in the wildcard team video, so no surprises there. I've made a few changes like Musiala in for Kimmich. And I've also brought in Upamecano in the defence. But as you can see, it is sorted out. So on the 4th of October, I've got 8 players. Adan, Tsimikas, Upamecano, Sane, who's my captain today, Kudus, Musiala, Jukla. They're all playing. And then the other 7, I think if I calculated it right. So it would be Haaland, Mbappe, Kvaratskhelia. No. Yeah, thank you for refreshing now. I'll have to refresh the page. But yeah, I basically have a decent balance between the two teams, and it's all done. Enjoy the Champions League as well, Lager. Tadic or Bellingham, I would have gone for Bellingham. Transfers locked, yes, it's all done. It would be nice if this page reloaded, by the way, but yeah, it probably won't at this point. I'm going to close the other tabs now. Yeah, we can close all this. Yeah, there you go. Okay, at least we got this. I can't even swear about day, but basically I've got 8 and 7 between both days. Everyone on my bench, as you can see, is playing tomorrow. I have gone for Kevin De Bruyne. If Sane was benched, I probably would have gone for Vinicius, or maybe gone for Bellingham and changed things accordingly. So yeah, it's all done. What happened to the sporting game? I'm not sure. I honestly have no idea what's happened to the sporting game. I don't have the games up right now. I probably will tune into the Bayern game very soon. Locked in, yes, Sudindra. Good luck to you as well. Good luck, Alex and Lavenier. Let me try and get all the comments. Thank you, Peter Motz, and everyone else watching. Yeah, literally, someone literally said, show your teammates so I can copy. This is exactly why I don't show my team. So, yeah, I showed it in the end, but with not enough time to give copiers a chance. That's kind of the policy. I hate to do it, but it is what it is. Cheers, Nikan. Ake and Mbappe or Messi and Akanji. I probably would have gone for Messi and Akanji, but it's a really close one. My laptop crashed making transfers. That is annoying. That really is. Wow, I feel for you. Don't go for Tadic. He is totally out of form. Yeah, he was incredible in the last few years, but I agree with you. Now is not the time to go for him. Let's have a little update in terms of, yeah, so we are now close to 15,100 subscribers. So let's keep on pushing. If you are new around here and I've helped you in any way or you enjoy the content, be sure to give this video a like. And we are trying to get this to over 400 likes. So we already have. Let's try to get this to over 500. And we still got over 600 people watching. So we can definitely do that. 50 more likes and we get there. Or I can't even count now. Or maybe I'm just blind. We have to just get 66 more likes and we can do that. So thank you very much. Let's keep on pushing. I'm going to keep on answering your questions and comments. Thank you, Soldier Boy, and good luck to you as well. Thank you, Esteban. Thank you, Marco. It's unbelievable today, the amount of people here. So thank you very much. Thank you, Priyantha. Biswanath as well. Thank you. How many transfers we'll get next week? 2. I believe we'll get 2. Sporting game delayed because Sporting bus is stuck in traffic. Wow. Well, I actually wasn't aware. Messi's going to score. Yeah, I mean, with the form he's in, but he is facing a tough opponent. Thank you, Soldier Boy, for the shout-out. What do you think about Okafor? He's a decent choice, but like I said all stream, I prefer Bellingham, Musiala, and a few others. Good luck to you. Vinicius over De Bruyne. Yeah, he's a good choice, for sure. And if De Bruyne is benched, then I will be kicking myself a little bit. The kickoff has been delayed due to heavy traffic. Yeah, it is what it is. Got the same team as me. Are you copying? Yeah, Stephen, I am. Yeah. Got Jesus instead of Jukla. Jesus. Fair enough. Team very similar to you, even while copying. I mean, look, a lot of our teams will be similar anyway, but just to prevent the mindless copying of people just doing exactly what you do, you know, move for move, you know, it's pretty much that. How much do you have in the bank? I think I've got 0.3, and that's why I couldn't do Upamecano to Davis. But to be honest, in terms of ball recoveries, don't really mind it too much. Thank you, CJ Endry. Great name. Mbappe going to score, you think? Yes, I think so. And thank you to everyone else. I'll try to read it out. Good luck to Vinyl. Thank you, Mario, as well. Do transfers roll into next week if not used? I believe one does, so you can get up to 3 transfers. Upamecano is a brilliant choice. 4 million for a Bayern defender. Well, Upamecano is 5 million or 5.1. But yes, he is a good choice with the ball recoveries. Thank you, Patriotic Irish. Good luck. Went for a similar team. Shesko over Jukla, Davis over Upamecano, Matip over Simicast, Florentino over Kostic. Yeah, it looks really good. And it's 50-50 with a lot of these decisions. And honestly, not much to separate them. Salamakers or Mount, I probably, at this moment in time, I'd say Salamakers. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Good luck, mate. Only difference in our teams is I have Guerrero instead of Carvajal. Plus, I have Davis. Wow, looks good. You're in good shape. Is the left back from Liverpool starter? No, but Robertson is out and he's just about recovering from an injury, so that's why. And look, Mbappe, absolutely, you know, that was a landslide victory for him. If I put Haaland, it would have been a closer call. I picked Zamba to cover Napoli. Yes, I was considering making a late move to him. Thank you, Marco. Got Sane, captain, Musiala, Davis, Kudus, Morita, and Adam today. Kind of nervous not owning Valverde and Bellingham. but you can't cover everyone. That's the moral of the story. Why copy? That's so damn boring. Watch for 2 hours just to copy. They are maybe playing for money. I mean, it's because sometimes people also just want to beat their, rivals in the mini leagues and stuff, and they want to just win. And they think, oh, someone's making videos, they must be good at the game, and they just copy. And look, you always limit yourself like that because you can always aim for more if you just do your own decisions, in my opinion. Good luck, Redder. Would you like if there was a triple captaincy? Yes, or something like having. Well, maybe not two captaincies because you technically do have it in this game, but maybe captaining two players playing on the same day. Yeah, maybe. But to be honest, I would actually rather see some things in UCL Fantasy go to FPL, like ball recovery points, stuff like that. Man of the match points. So for someone who wins the official award, they get the points rather than the flawed bonus point system. Inicial is in my team. Good luck, mate. Ended up with VLA and I'm guessing it's Vlahovic and Valverde. Looks good. Benzema over Haaland this week, maybe, to be honest, and Haaland could be benched, you never know. How do you have the points already if the games didn't even start? The points is from last week, mate. I haven't updated anything. All the points is what I did in Matchday 2. I went with Salah, Nunez, and Tsimikas. Maybe I'm a bit biased, but I think it's a good trio. Oh, it is a good trio. It's just I'm not sure about Nunez. It could be Firmino, it could be Jota, who I think will start. So it's kind of 50-50 on that, but the other two look good. Ended up with the same team, but got Solanke instead of Mbappe and Captain David Silva. Trolling there, Tech, aren't you? Want to do a Bundesliga fantasy Serie A? I don't think so. I've already got kind of a lot of my playing with F1 Fantasy, which I now play for fun, really. I've got UCL Fantasy and FPL, which I do videos for, so yeah. Play your own games is the best advice. Content creators are here to help make your own decisions. I mean, that's the aim. As well as talking about football and engaging and exchanging ideas, it's also about, becoming better managers in a way and making better decisions in the long term. Because just think about it. If you just copy someone, let's say you copy the one that, the manager that wins the game or something, or that is in the top 10, top 100 in the world. Yeah, okay, well done. You got the short-term result. But in the long term, you're not improving as a manager. And then if that manager that you copy does badly, you're then going to just have a bad season yourself. So it just doesn't make any sense, in my opinion. But everyone plays the game the way they want to. I just don't see the need. A Limitless and FPL will be so fun. Oh, yes, it definitely would. Incredible it would be. You have Kvaratskhelia, Tsimikas, Upamecano, Kostic, and I have Davis, Meyer, and Antonio Silva and Bellingham. Sane captain too. Good luck. Yeah, good luck to you as well, Marco. Really good team. And I wish everyone here the best of luck with their squads. First time here, was around for the last few minutes. Nice that you read most of the chat and reply. Yes, there was over 1,000 people here. And look, there's still going to be people saying, why didn't you read out my comment? Well, I tried. Honestly, I tried. I can't always do it, but, I try my best. And I appreciate your kind words. The thing I like about Champions League Fantasy is that you can swap flops. Wish you could do that in FPL. Yes. It's kind of pros and cons to it because, you can kind of get out of jail a lot in UCL Fantasy, but I do like it as well. Drop Cancelo and Foden for Gomez and Dembele. I mean, fair enough. I do like Cancelo a lot, and maybe that could be, that could backfire. I think Foden could be benched, though. Would you really think that Mbappe would score more goals than Lewandowski in the next 2 match days? I think so. I mean, Benfica and Inter are both tough games, but I would say so. Ended up with Guerreiro, Reinildo, Davis, Cancelo, and Carvajal. Thoughts? I think it's a solid defense, to be honest. I don't really have much to say. Goal Sane. Oh, wow. I'm so far behind the chat, yeah. I mean, Sane is good. I mean, people. I remember people a few weeks ago saying, "Why do you have Sane?" I mean, he speaks for himself. He's a great player. And already captaincy done. I mean, you can see on screen it's already reflected. And Adam's got 0 points because the Sporting Lisbon versus Marseille game is suspended at the moment. Be aware of that. It could start in, I think, 10 minutes now or something like that, or 5 minutes. So yeah, Sane goal. Good start. Kevin Morales, former Everton player at Anfield, will be epic. It just gets worse for Trent. Oh, okay. If he gets ripped by Morales, who is like, what, 34 or something now? Oh, my God. Little bit gutted. I only went for Davis and Sane. Happy to captain him, though. Yeah, I mean, Bayern against Pilsen, it just screams goals. And actually, I forgot to do that. I didn't change my predictions, but I went for 4-0 Bayern, and I put the Limitless, or the Joker, or whatever it's called. Let me see if I can get it up on screen. Yeah, I guess it's all bugging out right now. Let's see if I can get up the predictor. Yeah, so You get the predictor. These were my predictions for today. I went for 2-1 Sporting, 4-0 Bayern with the Joker now. I moved it from City, which I could regret to be fair, and I will change the other predictions based on the lineups that we get later on today. I might even give Sporting a clean sheet here. I think they will win the game. And yeah, 4-0 Bayern. So kind of the most popular predictions I've been going for. But yeah, that's all about covered. I'm going to go through your questions and comments before wrapping up. And it's been a great day. Obviously, over 1,000 of you in the chat. We've got to 15,000 subscribers, so thank you very much. Sane goal, Musiala assist. Wow, it gets even better. Was it really a Musiala assist? We will check. We will check indeed. Right now, Musiala isn't getting the assist, it seems. So, bit of a shame, but, you know, can't complain too much. Thank you, Leanne. Good luck, Dylan. Current rank 1093. That is incredible. Thanks for all the guidance. Best UCL mentor ever. Thank you. I appreciate it. A mentor is something I've never been called before, but I appreciate it. And hopefully you go all the way. I appreciate it, Leanne, and I wish you all the best. Musiala assist, get in. Oh, so it's all done, yeah? It's all confirmed? Okay, that's good. Maybe I need to refresh the page. Oh, no, I was getting ready to celebrate. And Sane got an extra point for scoring outside the box, was it? Yeah, because he's got 7 points right now. 14, yeah. Maybe it just hasn't updated yet, but Musiala, it looks like he got the assist as well. Incredible start. Went Davis instead of Musiala, who got the assist, but I'm sure Davis will get something. Yeah, a clean sheet, even that will, you know, be really good. Some ball recovery points. But yeah, I always said this. For me, double buy and attack is my preference, but I do like, you know, double buy and defense is, there's nothing wrong with that as well. Sane, Mbappe, Cancelo, Kudus, Adan, Zambo, Anguissa, Jukla, already +1 in price. That's my teammates. Yes, the prices have changed now, by the way, for anyone watching. Sorry, mods, I wasn't copying his team in 10 seconds. That's why I said Kappa. Fair enough. I went 5-0 Bayern. Damn, I forgot about the Joker. Yeah, it used to be called Joker. Now it's called the Booster. I prefer the Joker. It doesn't really matter anyway. Sane is a different monster than UCL. Yes, I mean, he's an incredible player, honestly. If Sane gets a brace, will you twist the captaincy to Haaland or stick? I think I'll stick. I think I would. Musiala assisted, but it's not showing up in the game. It might take some time for it to show up. Drop Cancelo and Foden for Gomez and Dembele. Dembele. Sorry, it's just a mate of mine called Dembele, and it's just stuck in my mind, okay? No, apologies go out to the Dembele family. Yeah, no. Like I said, I think Cancelo could backfire. Drop. I just said that. They didn't count it. Just that assist. Yes. Can you explain why you have Jukla, and would you really think that Mbappe would score more goals than Lewandowski? I mean, I just said it. I think Mbappe will score more goals. You know, they both have tough fixtures, but I think Mbappe, you know, he's been incredible in the last few seasons of the Champions League, and PSG are a better team than Barcelona. And not only that, Jukla is facing Atletico Madrid. He's a cheap striker, and remember, they have been struggling, Simeone's side. They have been struggling, and that's why I've gone for him. And it has enabled me to go for De Bruyne and triple City against Copenhagen. Thank you, Cesar. Yeah, lovely start, Amir. Do you like the Seagulls with McAllister? I do. I mean, they're a good team to watch, you know, and they're really annoying when, you know, you're up against them. And Arsenal have struggled a lot against them in recent seasons, but I do like the team. You know, they play some good footballs. Do you like The Sopranos? I don't like it. I love it. It's probably, in my opinion, the best show of all time, along with The Wire and Breaking Bad. It's kind of hard for me to kind of give a, you know, a ranking in order, but I probably would say Sopranos is my favourite. UEFA play-by-play gave Musiala the assist, fair enough, and it is updated and it's 2-0 now. Gnabry has scored. If, you know, let me know who got the assist for that. Will you be uploading F1 Fantasy videos? I'd love to, but the reception isn't really there, and I've got so much, you know, FPL and UCL Fantasy content to do. It doesn't make the F1 Fantasy videos, you know, worthwhile to do on top of that. I do enjoy it as well and all of that stuff, but right now, no F1 Fantasy videos for the time being. Have you got Sane and Musiala? Can put the captaincy on Musiala with a last-minute gut feeling. My gut lied to me. No, I mean, look, that's what it's about, though, following your gut. For me, Sane is a different beast. And look, we're only like, what, 10, 15 minutes into the game? Let's chill. Musiala could outscore him in the end, so don't worry about it. Goretzka assist. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this could be more than 4-0 then. Arsenal is the second favourite Premier League team behind Man City. Will that be the case, though, if they're both competing for the title? Either way, City will win it, but yeah, I wonder if that will change. I wish they're in UCL place. Yeah, but I mean, Arsenal, I mean, there was a lot of different reasons why. They didn't have a striker to really bury the chances. They also had a lot of injuries. I think some refereeing decisions were awful, but also on top of that, you have to give credit to Spurs, and they had Conte who did a good job, and Son and Kane are Son and Kane. So all those reasons played a part in Arsenal not getting Champions League, but I think Arsenal deserved third last year. They didn't. This season, they're looking incredible. Let's see how long it lasts. Hopefully a really long time. Dang, I was going to pick Goretzka too, but went for Valverde. Yeah, I mean, Goretzka's a bit of a weird one. He's injury prone, but when he gets the minutes, he's a bit of a jack of all trades. But I don't think I would have regretted it too much because you'd rather go for Neuer, Davis, Upamecano, Musiala, Sane, etc. Yep, Goretzka assist. You should do more watch-alongs. I mean, I'm technically not even watching the game. You lot are telling me what's happening. But either way, I will be wrapping up this stream soon. Therefore, fantasy prices are a mess. Yeah, now, I mean, they're completely out of control. I got on top of all of that. I wildcarded last week, or last race week, and I was able to get the kind of main players back, you know, get Red Bull, Perez, Leclerc. I turbo drived him before he went up to 20 million, so he was my turbo driver this week. And he got the same points as Perez, so all good. Have you ever watched a game in person? Of course. I've gone to multiple Arsenal games. I've seen Argentina at Wembley against Italy. We beat them 3-0. I watched Argentina against Croatia. I've been to games in Argentina against, Rosario Central games. Even like youth games in Argentina. So I've been to a lot of games. My thinking is Musiala at Cam will be a shout for Player of the Month. Player of the Match, sorry. Yeah, he could be. In that case, I think West Ham deserve top 4 as well. I mean, look, it doesn't matter. You know, it's the past, and it's not a big deal. Arsenal didn't get top 4 now, but they're looking great this season, so I honestly don't care. But in my opinion, they deserve third. Gotta go, good luck. I'm saving my wildcard for Game Week 5. Good luck, rock and roll. I hope it pays off for you, and let's see what happens. Are you in uni? No, I graduated a few years ago. Son over KDB on my Limitless. I think KDB will get a rest tomorrow. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, I would have gone for KDB personally, but KDB could get a rest, and if it is the case, then you're going to be laughing. Argentina versus Croatia. I mean, yeah, but that was a different Argentina team. Croatia against this Argentina team, honestly, I don't see a chance. They're a good team, but Argentina, for right now, I'd say are easily top 3 nations in the world, but let's see how they do in the World Cup. I can't click the DC link from my phone. Is it possible for someone to send me the link in the chat? Oh, the Discord link. I'm not sure, you know, the Discord links are a bit weird. I'll try to see what I can do, but yeah, if it's not working, I don't know why that is. Seeing Messi in person, it's not just seeing him, it's just seeing the way he plays, and it's unbelievable. He was man of the match in the game against Italy, although Di Maria, you know, he was incredible as well. He could have won it too. And against Croatia, I actually missed the first goal. Croatia were winning. It was 1-0. It was at Upton Park, by the way. It was the old West Ham Stadium. Croatia were winning 1-0. And I missed it, and I literally missed the first 15-20 minutes, but as soon as I came in, I think we scored a penalty, Messi scored, and Aguero also scored a goal, which got deflected, I think. Will you be in Qatar World Cup? Probably not. Obviously, the F1 doesn't always go down to the last day, but it was very underwhelming this year. I mean, last year was incredible. We were a bit spoiled, seeing 2 Titans going for the title. But to be honest, look, even if Ferrari didn't F up so much, I still think Leclerc wouldn't have been anywhere near Verstappen. Like, you'd be, I'd say, 40 points behind at this point or something, or 30 points, but I think there is a golfing class between the two. Thank you, Lungani. I appreciate it a lot. It's going to be a very dangerous free kick for Bayern. Probably 3-0 by the time we end the stream. My team, Adan, Perrin, Guerrero, Davis, Trent, Cancelo, Carvajal, Musiala, Sane, Bellingham, quick stop from Foden, Kudus, Valverde, Haaland, Mbappe. Yeah, it looks good, mate. It's a great team. I don't see anything that I don't like too much. Trent is a bit of a concern long-term. I do like him for this week, though. Thanks for the stream, mate. Enjoyed it. Thank you, Stephen. I'm Team McLaren, by the way. What about you? I mean, historically, I like Ferrari because of Schumacher, but I mean, at the moment, I do like Red Bull. I mean, a lot of people hate Red Bull, but I do like them because of Verstappen ending the Mercedes dominance. So, yeah, I guess I'm Team Red Bull. I mean, I like Ferrari as well. Historically, they're the team. You know, they're the ones with the history and the pedigree. That was a good stream today, mate. Looking forward to more. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll be seeing what I can do later on for match days 5 and 6 because I might not be able to stream and do videos, unfortunately, but I'll try my very best. I think I'll be away at that time, but I'll be keeping you guys updated. What's your World Cup final prediction? I think either Argentina or Brazil in the final, and they will probably face someone like France potentially on the other side. I think that is my prediction. Thank you, Harry. Which team would win the World Cup in your opinion, Dylan? I think Argentina or Brazil, but I'd love to say Argentina, but it's going to be tough. You've got a lot of different nations that can win it, but I think the South Americans are the strongest this year, and they have been for the last few. 3-0, Gnabry took a free kick, but goalkeeper... Wait, what? Oh, still 2-0. Oh, okay, fair enough. Currently 176th in the world. Can I show you my wildcard on Twitter? Sure, I'll try to get back to you. I'll see what I can do. I have a club, Atletico de Douglas Haig shirt. Ever heard of them? I think I've heard of them, but it doesn't really ring a bell. Okay, still 2-0. Okay, fair enough. George, no. Hamilton is not the go. I think Senna's better. Schumacher's better. Fangio from the 50s as well. Hamilton's really good, by the way. Credit to him, but I don't think he's in the top 5. Maybe, look, he's arguably in the top 5, but not for me. Not for me personally. The other game is about to kick off. No spectators in the stadium. Wow, that is a bit mad. Dark horse of the World Cup has to be Denmark, but you also have a few others like Netherlands and Croatia. I think those lot. Spain are also very underrated. They've consistently reached really good stages of the tournament, but I would probably say Denmark. England. England, no. If anything, they're overrated. They're like third or fourth favourites, and they look awful. No, not for me. 3-0 Mane. Yeah, I mean, there you go. Like I said before we end the stream, it's going to be 3-0. Dylan, do you think Barca have a chance? Yes, they do, but I don't think they will win it. I think their defence is too weak. They rely on a lot of Lewandowski. And as you saw, he had a disaster class against Bayern. I think Bayern are a more well-rounded team. I think PSG, their midfield maybe leaves a bit to be desired, but they are a better team. And Man City, they always are the favourites. And don't forget Real Madrid, who are unbeaten this year. They only got one draw. The rest are wins. So my favourites will be Madrid, Man City, Bayern Munich, and PSG. Those are the top 4. I don't see Barcelona. Yeah, Koundé is injured. How far do you think England will get? I think quarterfinals. I don't see a final. I don't see a win, more importantly. I'd say quarterfinals. Round of 16 is possible. I think they will progress from the group stages, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's an early exit. What happened to the Sporting game? There was a lot of traffic, so the game was suspended. Will you change the captaincy from Sane if it stays like this? Probably, but it's going to be a risk if I go to Haaland when I don't know if Haaland will start for sure. What's your favourite La Liga team? If I had to pick one, it'd probably be Valencia. A lot of Argentinians were there, and also they're a team with a lot of history. Probably Valencia. Club Atletico South in Argentina. Yes. I was reading a book, actually. It's called The History of Argentinian Football in Spanish, and it talks about that team. That's where I think I got it from, yeah. He insisted it should be named after the British commander-in-chief. I mean, if you look at the other teams, River Plate, Newell's Old Boys, Rosario Central, they're all English names, so to speak. Will you change... Oh, yeah, just answer that, sorry. Denmark, yes, even though Croatia beat them twice, and Netherlands, yes, but also Serbia. Yeah, Serbia are pretty good. They're a good team, yeah, but I'd stick with Denmark, I think. Same here, mate. I agree with your favourites for UCL. I think Serbia's interesting, yeah, they definitely are. Hopefully they beat Brazil. I hope so. I'll be rooting for anyone playing against them, just saying. Sporting goal 1-0, there you go, and my prediction was 2-1. I've got Adan here, so hopefully he can keep the clean sheet. Mane, we Liverpool fans are missing you. Yeah, but he hasn't been that great for Bayern this season. A lot of Bayern fans actually don't want him starting up front for them. And look, he's facing Pilsen. I think Liverpool would be winning by 1 or 2 goals at this stage if they were playing against Pilsen, in my opinion. So, yeah. And I don't think Liverpool's woes just come down to Mane. Maybe Abraham. I mean, look, I think Argentina are the best team right now, but let's see how they do in the World Cup. And you've got Brazil as well. You've got a few other good teams. My team for World Cup is Argentina and probably Netherlands. I don't think Netherlands. I think they can go far, maybe reach a semi-final, but I don't think they'll win it. Trincao goal. Wow, fair play. And I've seen a few people mention him in the chat today. I think Davis is the Mane, but he may have lost the ball slightly and was probably a solo goal anyway. Fair enough. Hopefully he doesn't get the assist, but let's wait and see. I expected 5-0 this game, but I think it could amount to 7-0. Don't even rule out 8. Need Messi to win the World Cup? Yeah, I mean, like... Sometimes you don't get what you deserve, but he had a great chance in 2014 and he's got another great chance, and this Argentina team is even better, so who knows. Do you think Liverpool's poor form is down to them selling Barnett? Just like I said, I don't think it's just down to that. It's one reason, and I think Liverpool have downgraded in the attack, getting rid of Mane and getting Nunez, I think that's a downgrade. But there's more issues, an aging midfield that, you've got Thiago's the best one, but he's injury prone. You've got Henderson and Milner, especially Milner, who's past it. And the defence, the the defending is the main problem. You know, Van Dijk isn't to the same level as before, so there's a lot of different reasons. And Klopp, 7th season syndrome, I don't know how true, whatever it is, but all of these things add up. Is Nunez a good option? I don't think so, because there's a lot of rotation and options for Liverpool. Wait, is this a Sporting Trincao? Yeah, I think so. And the one that was at Barcelona. Any chance McAllister getting in the Argentina squad? He will get in probably, but he's going to be on the bench. He's not starting over the Paul, Paredes and Lo Celso. That is locked in. But McAllister is actually kind of like 4th or 5th choice. So you will see him at the World Cup, I believe. Bit annoying, the Bayern goals are so spread. Yeah, need Sane and Musiala to hog them. Yeah, exactly. Maybe, you know, give it time. But that's the thing with Bayern. You know, with Lewandowski, he hogged all the goals really, but you had Sane assisting and getting some goals himself. Now it's just really open, but I think Sane is the best bet still. Emi Martinez is very underrated. I think this season now, yeah, because people are saying he's awful. You know, yes, he's not playing that well for Aston Villa, but for Argentina, he still, I think, hasn't conceded a goal with Romero and Otamendi on the pitch. You know, people do give him a lot of slack, but he's playing for Aston Villa, you know, they're awful. Edwards assist for Trincao, he's in my thoughts, yeah. He's another one that I mentioned as a Sporting Lisbon asset. How does Mane have 4 balls recovered already as a forward? That is insane. I mean, that's what Liverpool fans loved about him. Musiala missed a big chance. Yeah, everyone's saying that. Well, there you go. I mean, he's just a young guy. He's already gotten us an assist, and he's gotten some pretty big returns in the past. So let's be patient, but obviously it is frustrating. And I'm saying this, and I'm not even watching the game. If I watched it, I probably would be cussing him. Who got the assist of the Mane goal? Apparently it was Davis, but it might not go to him, basically. So keep an eye out for that one. So yeah, it's been a blast talking to all of you today, and it's been just a lot of fun. If you haven't already, you know what to do. Be sure to drop this video a like, and let's get this to 500 if possible. And thank you to everyone for helping us reach 15,000 subscribers today. It was no assist. There you go. Sane plus Musiala plus Lewandowski, Jurkla, Meyer, Michele, Gonçalves, and Ignacio. Good luck, Neskis. If Sane scores more goals, will you switch your captain? If he scores one more, I don't think I'll switch, but I will keep you updated. Do you think Mudryk or Kvaratskhelia is better? Kvaratskhelia. For UCL Fantasy, Kvaratskhelia. In real life, they're both great, to be fair, and I need to see more. Thank you, Marco. Thank you, FPL Canada Gas. Have I not lost my voice? I don't know. I think the water has helped, and I was recently ill again, or I had like an allergic reaction or something. I don't know, but it's all good. And onwards and upwards, hopefully. What a performance! What a platform to talk about football. Absolutely love it. Thank you, Wei-Sing. I appreciate it. UEFA just gave the assist to Davis. Yeah. Okay. I knew I'd regret not, funding the move to Davis, but to be honest, I still like my team. I'm not gonna kick myself over that. Thank you, Dylan, for the stream. Always top notch. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Lagged, as well. What do you put your water that you can keep this up for 2 hours? I mean, I've sometimes done 3-hour streams. I think once I did a 3.5-hour stream, but yeah, it's not always possible. Lewandowski always had that chance of random hat-tricks, but he's playing same day as Mane. My switch to Haaland captaincy, though. It's just Mane isn't as good of a goal scorer. He is a good one, but Lewandowski's another breed. Davis didn't get the assist, bro. Don't personally have the Davis assist yet. We'll see. Maybe if you refresh your page or something, I don't know, but I hope he doesn't get it. No offense, okay? None taken. Yeah, thank you very much. So thank you to everyone for subscribing and liking the video. This will be the end of a very long but great stream, and we've been going for almost 3 hours. Wow, not even 2 hours. This is almost a 3-hour stream. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, DylanRCM, and check the links in the description below, including the Patreon, the channel memberships, the Discord server, and the UCL Fantasy League. And be sure to check out my other playlists for the FPL and the UCL Fantasy content, so you can see everything that you need to know ahead of the Game Week 10 and the Matchday 3 deadlines, which of course are just passed in the case of UCL Fantasy. I wish you all the best of luck for this Matchday. Let's wait and see what it has in store for us. Hopefully some great football, and I'll see you in the next one.